This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. It's Friday. We made it. Friday, August 27th. I'm Tori here with Jeff and Erica. We're so grateful you're here with us today. Let's get started. We would just like to start by acknowledging right now, straight up, that there are a lot of very heavy things going on in Afghanistan and in other places around the world today. We are all aware of that, but it's also Friday, and we've decided we're going to talk about some lighter topics and hopefully bring your day up as well. And up first, a lot of you are actually talking about this. Kanye West held a third listening party for his new album Donda at Soldier Field in Chicago. We got two Chicagoans here.
That's right.
The show included a reconstruction of his childhood home, and at one point, Kanye appeared to set himself on fire. But everyone is talking about this moment when someone who appears to be Kim Kardashian came out in a Balenciaga wedding dress. Some are reporting it's definitely Kim, others not so sure. So what do we think about all of this? Because this is turned into, and I did art history as a major, this is a performance piece. It's become really interesting. What do you think?
For sure. Let's acknowledge that before we dive into everything else. Very cool. I love that.
Really
I love the imagery that Kanye has, what's going on in his mind. Nobody knows. That's why I think we love it so much. Being from Chicago, I think we can appreciate. Imagine that moment if you brought your home into an arena and then played an album years later. That's a lot for Kanye, I think, before we dive into all. Was that? First of all, that didn't look like Kim Kardashian.
I don't think it looked like Kim Kardashian. If you want to dive in,
but I don't know if you want to comment on the imagery first.
I don't think it matters if it was truly her or not. It represents her either way.
Yeah.
So
he's recreating things, right? His home, his wedding. These are all recreations, and that's what trauma people do. They come back and recreate. Now, we did pull on some people on stage that people are a little wary about. I want to get your take. DaBaby and Marilyn Manson were brought on. Kanye had, as I was going to say, some guests appear at the show, and I'm going to get there. At one point, he was joined on stage by Marilyn Manson, like I said, and rapper DaBaby, who've both been in the news for some very controversial things. If you didn't know, DaBaby recently made some very homophobic comments, and Marilyn Manson has been sued for multiple women for sexual assault. What do you think, Erica?
what, R. Kelly couldn't get a conditional release to join them?
And he's a Chicago guy.
I mean, he was right down the street. If we're going there, I mean, you know, I'm not going to conflate DaBaby and Marilyn Manson simply because those are two different things.
Fair.
However, yeah, and also DaBaby replaced Jay-Z on a verse, and a lot of people were very upset about that. You know, I'm not all into the X's and O's of this conversation, but I do think that it's obviously speaking to cancel culture. Yeah. And I think we have to be very, very careful when we talk about cancel culture, because when we're talking about sexual assault, when we're talking about the perpetuation of possible violence against the LGBTQ plus community, you know, you can't conflate all of these different very serious topics. So I think that part was a bit off. You know, I know it gets us talking, it's art.
It's controversy, right. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, everything you just said is right on. And I'm going to jump from the point where you said everything is off. Kanye, everything he does, and I say this redundantly, is off, right? There's insanity, there's creativeness, and I think there's a fine line in between there, and sometimes you step over it. In this case, I think he stepped over it, if you want to dive deep into that. But I think the message is that he is giving, without giving reason why they're there, is fighting back against the cancel culture. Why are these people
it's
not?
It's a statement.
Right, it's a statement. But if you dive into it, like Erica said, there is only really one side with that. But if you want to look at the message as a whole, kind of like is that Kim Kardashian or is it? the message is that it is Kim Kardashian. So the message that he's giving is fighting against cancel culture without me stepping into it too much here.
You did a good job. And redundantly is a great word. Good job, Jeff.
I didn't even know if I used it right. I was like, redundantly? I say it a lot, but is this in the right text? That's what I was thinking when I was talking.
I know you were, and I was proud of you. All right. We want to...
You made it seem like I just colored something.
Yay, Jeffrey! Yay! He did it.
I'm proud
I thought what
of
you
you.
said.
There's a sticker. Get out of here.
Okay, stop. This is really interesting. Beyonce, first of all, let us know how you feel. I think it was an interesting statement, nonetheless, of the detail. He recently appeared in this Tiffanys ad, and Beyonce is wearing this gigantic diamond, very famous, that's more than 128 carats. She is only the fourth woman and first black woman to wear it. Lady Gaga wore it to the Oscars, and Audrey Hepburn wore it in Breakfast at Tiffany's. But some are saying this is a blood diamond and that it was found in a mine where African laborers were forced to work in horrendous conditions for minimal pay, and many of them died. Beyonce reportedly didn't know. In a statement to The Sun, a spokesperson said Beyonce is disappointed and angry that she wasn't made aware of questions about the stone's history. Erica.
You know, if there's one thing about Beyonce, she's going to be accountable. The idea that everything wasn't vetted as the statement was released, you know, they had a lot of check marks on this. The entire imagery of the entire ad, Basquiat,
Yeah.
like, okay, hi.
Oh, Jean-Michel Basquiat saying hello.
Whoa.
Hello,
Lost an earring. What was that about? But you know, the idea that Basquiat painting hadn't ever been seen,
right.
The Tiffany diamond on the first black woman ever, this was all speaking to access, right? She had $2 million that Tiffany's is reportedly giving to HBCUs for scholarships and internships. The idea that Beyonce didn't know is controversial to some people. However, a lot of people did not know.
Right.
And this opened up a conversation, like the fact that the diamond was purchased for only $18,000. And even though that was 144 years ago, for a diamond that is now priceless, should that be returned, or should there be some type of homage to the people who lost their lives in order to secure this piece of jewelry? So it's just, I mean, it's a big conversation, but at least people are having it, and Beyonce's camp is taking accountability.
I agree. I think it opened it up. I wish the reps had vetted this. Obviously, when you think diamond, my first thought is blood diamonds, first off. But Lady Gaga wore it and no one said anything.
That's my point.
I mean, let's be honest here. Am I right?
Well, my first thought when I think of diamonds isn't blood diamonds, obviously. You know what I mean? If this comes with a security guards and a team of people and stuff, you're not thinking that. You're thinking, I'm going to take this photo shoot with my husband, and we're a power couple, and this is the most powerful object, at least diamond-wise, in the world.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know the history. Lady Gaga just wore it.
I know.
I didn't hear any feet.
Not one peep.
Yeah, so it's like, how do you not think this is okay? And then people dig up all these things, and then you're like, well, I thought it meant like a symbol of power. We're a power couple.
Access, like
now it's something totally different. Now I have to, you know, apologize and things like that. I get why. I get it. I get cancel culture.
Yeah.
I do. I understand all this. I was just watching a football game the other day, and there was a team in Canada called the Eskimos. And all of a sudden, I'm like, who's the Elks? And I was like, oh, they're the Elks now. They're not the Eskimos anymore, because now I get it. I totally understand. It doesn't bother me in any way, but like, people are just digging up things to dig up.
Well,
Rap,
and
perfect.
Beyonce, I mean, the truth is, the reason why Beyonce is getting more flack than Lady Gaga is because Beyonce is not allowed to make
any
small
mistake,
mistakes, and also there's an added responsibility for her as a black woman,
Yes.
and especially because she taps so much into African history and the idea that we're returning back to our heritage and our culture. So that's the reason why she's on, you know, her feet are being held to the fire more. Is it fair? That's up for discussion.
You don't, we're out of time, but you don't think any of these old companies that these people are accusing things of, like the pop that you're drinking or something, wasn't made 100 years ago? And what happened 100 years ago? Come on, man, you know?
Interesting. Coming up on DBL, our interview with the U.S. Secretary of Education. What Dr. Miguel Cardona is saying about keeping kids safe in schools. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
We've all got.
Oh, it's elk?
Hi.
Oh, well, that's even better.
Yeah, so
Elks, that's not a word, Tiffany.
apparently there's an elk conversation.
Wait, we're gonna go back to Erica, but elk our Canadian producer just said, if there's more than one elk, it's just still an elk. They're elk over there, not elks. What do you mean, yeah? I hate when people like, get real. You did not know that. You knew it was just elk?
Like moose?
If so, there was more elk, there would be
moose?
elks?
Like geese.
All right, where are you going, Erica? You have something important to say.
I'm just thank you for rescuing my earring, Jeff.
That was very, very manly and chivalrous. If you didn't see, what happened was her earring fell out and Jeff kind of Mission Impossible crawled to get it. It's nice.
Well, Erica has important things to talk about other than earrings and elks.
I was just clarifying about the Beyonce controversy. And, I get both sides. I understand that, we need to have these conversations just because things happened over 100 years ago. That also contextualizes how we operate today. I'm not mad at Beyonce. I think that it was I feel like it was very brave of her to admit that she didn't know, knowing that there was going to be so much flack for not knowing. I think we need to be vulnerable enough in all spaces to admit when we don't know something, even if it makes us seem less woke. That's an opportunity to get educated, and by her doing this and having this conversation, I think a lot of people are more educated on the subject.
You know what my dad once said to me, and he's the smartest man in the whole wide world, and I really mean this, like, this man is brilliant. Wow. He said the 3 most important words I learned, and this was after his 40s, were I don't know. Sometimes it's super important to admit when you just don't.
I say that all the time.
Well, yeah.
My super
yeah,
smart.
but you don't know anything.
Elks.
Welcome back to DBL. Never before has a school year been filled with so much uncertainty, division, and hardship. Earlier this week, we talked live with the U.S. Secretary of Education, Dr. Miguel Cardona, and got his take on what he's doing to keep our kids safe. Take a look.
Secretary Cardona, welcome to DBL. Let me tell you, we asked our viewers what questions they had for you, and we had more questions for you than any guest we've ever had on. A lot of them are stressed out about going back to school, right? A lot of them started school about a week ago. In your opinion, how is back to school going so far?
Look, well, first of all, thanks for having me on. Happy to be here with you. And across the nation, 50 million students are going back to school, another 20,000 in college. And we know that back to school jitters are real, but I've seen overwhelmingly the back to school excitement. Yes, now we have to deal with this Delta variant, and we have to be very careful to make sure that we're protecting our students and our staff. So that's that added layer of stress. But overall, I do see schools reopening. I do see them following those mitigation strategies that we know work to keep our students and our staff safe.
So leading with that theme, some of our viewers also asked about kids wearing masks in school. So the president has directed the Department of Education to intervene in states that have banned mask mandates in school. My kids are 2 and 4. They're in preschool. They have to wear masks in school. What steps are you taking personally to keep our kids safe?
Thanks for mentioning your kids, because the kids are fine. It's sometimes the adults and their policies that get in the way of safe reopening. I remember last year we were reopening schools in Connecticut without the vaccine, without the frequency of tests, without the years worth of knowledge that we have now. And our students were amazing. Our educators were amazing to do what we needed to do to get them back in. Let our educators educate. Let our school leaders lead. They know what to do to get our schools safely reopened. Follow those mitigation strategies, but also build confidence in the community and the parents, letting them know what you're doing to keep their children safe. I think that's part of what we do now as educators, to make sure we're communicating what we're doing to keep our children safe and our schools safe. And as a father myself, I know my children want to be back in school, and I know they're going to do whatever they need to do to be in school uninterrupted. So let the students come in. The masks help prevent spread, so let them use those masks to get in school safely.
All right, Secretary Cardona, I've always wanted to say that. I feel like I'm on West Wing. How are you, sir? It's Tori here. Now that the Pfizer vaccine has gotten full approval of the FDA, we have a viewer, Brad, and he wants to know what a lot of viewers want to know. What is your take on mandating vaccines for teachers specifically? And is that something you were actually going to push for?
Yeah, thanks, Brad. That's a great question. And I think we were all kind of just waiting for this final FDA approval. Look, we don't open schools in many of our states without other vaccines. This vaccine saves lives. I am in support of those places that are doing vaccination requirements for schools. You know, that's not my purview as Secretary of Education, but I do support strong leaders that are saying, listen, we need to get our students back in school safely. We need to protect lives, and we know it's safe, so we're going to move forward with it. I'm just looking forward to, now that we have that hurdle, right, the FDA hurdle, I'm looking forward to allowing students that are younger to get vaccinated so that we can move on past this pandemic, get into the business of teaching and learning, which is what we do best in our schools.
Amen.
All right. Well, Secretary Cardona, I just want to say, first of all, as somebody that's sending 2 kids to school today, this morning, what you had to say was really reassuring. So I appreciate that. Now let's talk about some of the new education initiatives, like the 2 additional years of free pre-K and community college. Tell our viewers why you think these are so important.
Thanks, Alan. First of all, I hope your children have a great school year.
They're excited,
2 years of community college. You know, we could talk about free 3- and 4-year-old pre-K programs or community college. We could talk about that in isolation as great strategies, but this president understands that education is fundamental for our country's growth. And investing in 2 years of community college, where we know graduates of community college earn on average 21% more than high school graduates. This is great for their families, great for their opportunities, but also great for our country and our economic stability. So it's really forward thinking to make sure that we keep raising the bar. We don't want other countries to catch up. The president gets that, and 2 years of community college is a game changer for so many families in so many communities.
Wow. I'm just blown away. Secretary Cardona, you're warm.
He's so good.
You're sincere. You're reassuring.
His smile.
Sorry. Okay, so we've got more with Secretary Cardona, if he'll stick with us after the break, including a very important take. I know that a lot of our viewers have their own opinion about trans kids participating in school sports. You're going to hear his opinion. We'll be right back with Secretary Cardona.
With another round of COVID shots underway for some, many of you wanted to know if you can switch things up. So we went to the CDC and Novant Health infectious disease specialist, Dr. David Priest, to find out. Viewer Ron S. asked us if those getting an additional dose had to get the same brand as the first time. First, we'll remind you, the extra doses available are only Pfizer and Moderna right now, and they're only for people who originally got Pfizer and Moderna.
Try to stick with the brand of vaccine you got for the first 2 doses, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
The CDC says if you don't know or don't have the original mRNA brand, you can get either mRNA vaccine. So we can verify you don't have to get the same brand for your 3rd dose, but mixing it up is really a last resort. Now, what about Johnson & Johnson? Viewer Lisa B. asked if someone could switch from Johnson & Johnson to another brand for their additional dose.
I think roughly 900,000 people in the country who got Johnson & Johnson have already gotten an mRNA booster. So I think that's already happening, but there's no official guidance on that yet.
So clearly some people are skirting around official guidance here. But right now, the CDC says it still needs more info here on how safe and effective it is to mix J&J with an mRNA shot. So we can verify, by the official guidance, you can't get Johnson & Johnson and then a different brand. But that guidance could change when more research comes out.
Welcome back back to DBL. We've got more with Secretary of Education, Dr. Miguel Cardona. Okay, so Secretary Cardona, this year there are a ton of hot button issues for schools that our audience specifically wanted to hear about. So let's talk about some of them. Up first, what is your take on schools banning trans girls from competing on girls' sports teams?
You know, again, let's get the politics out of this. Let educators do what they do best. All students deserve to be in a school environment where they can participate fully. Extracurricular activities are part of that school experience. All students deserve that right to participate in those extracurricular activities.
Short and sweet, I like.
Yeah, I like that. So next up, a lot of our viewers wrote in about something called critical race theory. Here we go. And it's happening in our colleges as well as our high schools and below. So maybe quickly explain what it is, why is it so controversial, and basically how do you feel about being banned from schools?
You know, the Build Back Better agenda is so strong that we're finding random things now to complain about, to serve as a proxy for a distraction. We're not going to get into it. We don't control curriculum at the federal government. I'm a big believer in equity and making sure students see diverse characters in their stories, and students see themselves in their stories and see other cultures, because as a country, that's how we get stronger. But this notion that we're endorsing one particular belief over another, we don't get into that. We're not going to give it airtime. We're focused on building back better, and the agenda does that. We're not going to be distracted by different things to try to get us off that message.
Ooh, what a politician.
I know.
Slick, I like it. Let's slide right
Do
over.
you like that?
I did.
Yeah, that was
what
pretty
does
good.
David Schwimmer say? Pivot. All right, let's lighten things up a bit. Stop it, Jeff. It turns out you went to school with one of our amazing cameramen. He's like family to us, Rob. He gave us this picture from your yearbook, sir. Cool mullet. We like your mullet.
Oh, wow.
Good mullet. So we wanted to know, in that mullet, did you have any idea or hopes or dreams that you'd end up being the Secretary of Education?
Listen, not only was wearing the chain on the outside of your shirt cool then, I was working really hard to get that mullet to go straight.
Totally.
You know, I didn't go as far as using a straightening iron, but I was trying really hard to have that go down, to have, you know, that 80s rock hair, kind of like ravishing Rob Reel over there. And we were able to do that.
Now, you know what they say about mullets, that it's business in the front, party in the back. So do you have two sides to you, or are you all
That's
business?
a good question.
Be honest.
Listen, I'm me. I like to bring the party to the work. It's who I am. It's the music, I'm me, no matter, I'm unapologetically me, whether I'm in the barrio or the boardroom.
Yeah. I heard you were a singer. I know your wife is a singer. Can you give us a little sound of your songs?
What?
Wow. You know, I don't want to negatively impact school reopening.
I feel you. Good for you.
Singing.
Now that's a true political answer right
Maybe
there. That was
next
good.
time. You're always welcome to come back. We appreciate you. Rob
you.
has spoken so highly of you, and to get his endorsement, literally, for us.
He also has the president's endorsement.
I know, but it's always nice to know somebody personally says that this is the guy.
That's
so we really appreciate you,
Thank you.
Secretary Cardona. Thank you so much for joining us here in DBL and for being so contrite with our viewers. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Dozens of planes have taken off from Kabul's airport carrying Americans and other evacuees out of Afghanistan. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney claimed in an August 19th Twitter post, liked more than 17,000 times, that President Joe Biden is charging Americans for their flights. Verify viewer Mike asked, is the U.S. government charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan? So, Mike, let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. State Department, the Overseas Security Advisory Council, and the U.S. Code of Laws. On August 7th, the U.S. Embassy in Kabul urged Americans to immediately leave Afghanistan on commercial flights and offered loans to help cover the cost if needed. A week later, the embassy again urged Americans to take commercial flights and warned for the first time that flights chartered by the State Department may cost $2,000 or more per person. Historically, during a crisis, the State Department charges private citizens and third country nationals the cost of a full-fare economy ticket for charter flights it arranges to the U.S. The agency cites a section of U.S. law requiring passengers to reimburse the government. This happened last year when Americans were evacuated from Wuhan, China during the start of the pandemic. However, in this case, a State Department spokesperson tells Verify it isn't asking anyone for reimbursement for return to the U.S., given the situation. And the Secretary of State said the embassy in Kabul also sent out that message.
We even made clear that we would help pay for their repatriation. And we provided multiple communication channels for Americans to contact us if they're in Afghanistan and want help in leaving.
So, it's false that the U.S. government is charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan. Since her post, Congresswoman Tenney has acknowledged Americans leaving Afghanistan aren't being charged and introduced a bill to ensure the flights remain free. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Have you heard that just 4 seconds of exercise can change your life? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're chatting about it today on DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. New research shows 4 seconds of high-intensity exercise repeated a few dozen times, hold up, is all most people need to build muscle and maintain their fitness levels. You want to work your body as hard as you can, but not to the point of exhaustion. People who did this were found to burn fat much faster. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more.
Also, all you need to live is one little thing of corn repeated 10,000 times a day.
DBL's new. Every day we'll see you. Bye, guys.
Could drones play a part in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's connect the dots. Atrium Health has been working with UPS for a long time to perfect this technology. Now they can use a drone to deliver vaccines 25 doses at a time from the main hospital to nearby practices and pharmacies. And this is not your normal delivery drone. It's climate controlled. Remember, the COVID vaccine has to be stored in incredibly cold temperatures, so the drone is packed with special gel to keep them cool. But is drone delivery actually that helpful for delivering vaccines? Researchers say yes in certain situations. Drones could help transport vaccines to places that are hard to reach by delivery truck. In fact, the technology is already widely being used by Pfizer to ship vaccines in Ghana. And here in the U.S., drones could help lighten the load for delivery drivers. Saving a few trips with this technology could go a long way, as companies face staffing shortages and a growing mountain of online deliveries. Still, it could be a while before we see drones take over the vaccine rollout. Right now, Atrium is only operating one drone within a mile radius in Winston-Salem. But the technology is looking promising for fighting disease in the future. And that is connecting the dots.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Kanye's controversial listening party with canceled stars Marilyn Manson and DaBaby. And is that actually Kim in a wedding dress? Beyonce gets slammed for her photo shoot with Tiffanys. Why the diamond she wore is causing so much controversy. A list of the most offensive mascots is making a lot of people mad. Is Notre Dame's leprechaun really insulting to the Irish? And in today's Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted. A witness lies on the stand, putting an innocent 18-year-old in prison for murder. How did he get out 27 years later?
That was my fight to prove my innocence.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Friday, August 27th. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. Let's get started. But first, we do want to acknowledge that there are a lot of very heavy things going on in Afghanistan and other places around the world today. And our thoughts and our prayers are with you. We are going to turn to some lighter things. So up first, a lot of you have been writing in about this story all morning long. So let's talk about it. Kanye West held a third listening party for his new album, Donda, at Soldier Field in Chicago last night. Now, the show included a reconstruction of his childhood home. And at one point, Kanye appeared to set himself on fire. But everyone, including our viewers, are talking about this moment when someone who appears to be Kim Kardashian coming out in a Balenciaga wedding dress. Some are reporting that it's definitely Kim, others not so sure. Fan video posted on Twitter also showed Kanye holding hands with the maybe Kim as they were leaving the show. So what do you all think about this? I know that you just said the other day you're a huge Kanye fan and that he intrigues you.
Definitely. So let's just take this beat because we have another beat following this. The artistry of it all. Whether that's Kim or Kanye, or whether it's Kim Kardashian or not, it's just a symbolism of that is Kim, right? I just love that. I love that where he came from, he gets to put his home and recreate it in that stadium and perform. And Kanye's always walking that line, right? Always walking that line. Is it controversial? Is it artistry? What is it? That's what I see when I see Kanye. So just speaking clearly on the artistry point of it, I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
I thought it was really interesting just the amount of recreations he did. He recreated the exact house. He recreated the wedding. He recreated the feeling of being isolated. So for someone who went through trauma, which he has and has a mental illness that he speaks openly about, recreating can be very helpful, can be very cathartic. And he did it in front of a lot of people. And maybe that's his way of healing. As an art history person, this is such an interesting performance art piece with mixed media and pop culture references. It's really an interesting piece. I like it.
What do you think, Erica? Especially as a Chicagoan, is that what do I say?
Yeah, Chicagoan. I'm with Jeff on that aspect of the art. I don't think it matters if it was truly Kim physically or not. I think we all understand that it represents Kim.
And if it is Kim, more power to them. You know, we don't often give credit to the Kardashians, but this is a couple what looks like are really doing it right for their children, right? Whether or not that they're married anymore, they are supporting each other's careers. So if this is Kim, it seems like that is an example that I think a lot of people who go through divorce, which is a lot of our viewers who have written in, that's something that you do want to emulate.
I'm going to tell you why it's not. In a second.
You don't think it is Kim?
Let's hit this next beat.
All right. So Kanye, let's hit this next beat.
Yo, producer, roll it.
So Kanye also had some very controversial guests appear at the show. So at one point, he was joined on stage by Marilyn Manson and rapper DaBaby, who have both been in the news for some very controversial things. So if you didn't know, DaBaby recently made some very homophobic comments, and Marilyn Manson has been sued by multiple women for sexual assault.
So what? Kanye couldn't get R. Kelly out on a conditional release? He was right up the street. Why stop here?
Chicago in, yes.
Why stop here? I mean, obviously, we're talking about cancel culture, and he's using it as a form of art to evoke conversation. But I really do not understand what the conversation is in this capacity.
All right, so now let's jump. I'll touch on both, but this is why I don't think it's Kim Kardashian, because he brought them on stage. Again, I don't think she wants her name tied up in all that controversy.
That's a very good point.
And that's not mine. That's Stephanie Jones. I have to give that to her. We came to that conclusion earlier. But it makes sense if it's not.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be performing on stage
very particular
with
about
these
that.
very controversial people, which I know Kanye's getting flack for. And that's where people draw that line. I know we disagree on Kanye. He walks that line. Does he step over? Is this too far? In my mind, he might have stepped over the line, bringing that on stage. I understand, though, what it represents. It represents that cancel culture, and can they not have a comeback? But is this the time? Is this the place? Should he have done that? That's what we're talking about.
And I agree with you, but he diluted the message by bringing on a sexual assault person that's been under the spotlight on that. Had he done someone that was unfairly canceled, allegedly, excuse me, like Aziz Ansari or someone even that we don't, the Marilyn Manson to me ruined the whole take, because now you're diluting it by putting what I think is an alleged criminal up there and saying he shouldn't be canceled. He should be canceled. That's accountability. To me, he missed the mark on that one.
Oof. All right, so from one artist to another, Beyonce is finding herself between a rock and a hard place. She and Jay-Z recently appeared in this Tiffanys ad. I'm sure you guys saw it all over Instagram. And Beyonce is wearing this gigantic diamond that's more than 128 carats. She's only the fourth woman and first black woman to wear it. Lady Gaga wore it to the Oscars, and Audrey Hepburn wore it in Breakfast at Tiffany's. But some are saying it is a blood diamond, and that it was found in a mine where African laborers were forced to work in horrendous conditions for minimal pay, and many of them died. So Beyonce reportedly did not know, and in a statement to The Sun, a spokesperson said, quote, Beyonce is disappointed and angry that she wasn't made aware of questions about the stone's history. What do you think of people criticizing Beyonce?
I think that when we're having this accountability culture conversation and we say it's not cancel, it's accountability, then you have Beyonce taking accountability in the bravest way possible. Because the truth is, by her being vulnerable enough to be honest and say, I did not know the history, she's also putting herself in a very vulnerable place, because people are looking at her and saying, well, you should have known the history. A lot of people who are saying that also didn't know the history. So by her being honest and saying, I'm taking accountability for the fact that this was not vetted and I should have known better, is bringing a lot of people up to speed on this very tragic origin of this diamond. But it's also promoting conversation. So if we truly are talking about accountability culture, this is how it's done, because this conversation would not have been had otherwise.
Before you chime in, I wanted, to Erica's point, Tina Knowles wrote this to a lot of the social media comments. She wrote, how many of you socially conscious activists own diamonds? I thought so. Well, guess what? Did you go try to check and see where the diamond came from? Probably not. So a lot of people are so quick, Tori, to Erica's point, to condemn her, but do they know the origins of their very own diamonds?
Or anything else that they have, your iPhone, your soda you're drinking. You had brought up other bottling
just
companies.
any product.
Anything
that you wear, anything that you consume.
How far have you gone back to research that? And I will also say this, which I find really interesting, is that when it comes to Beyonce wearing that and saying, I don't know, my father, who I think is the smartest person alive, always said the three smartest words are, I don't know. Being brave enough to say that, you don't get yourself in trouble with a cover-up, with trying to do all this. You hold yourself accountable. You say you don't know, and you don't speak on facts you don't know. So I so appreciated her saying it. Do I think her reps should have vetted better? Yeah. I think her team didn't do her service. I'll say that.
Did anybody rep when this was worn in Breakfast at Tiffany's, or when it was worn a couple of years ago at the Oscars? Nobody said one word.
We looked into that. We didn't see any comments.
This is an interesting conversation. The reason why is because Lady Gaga and Audrey Hepburn aren't black.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I mean, that's the reason. Beyonce can make no small mistakes, period, especially when it comes to issues that affect black and African descendants.
Right.
So, yes, she is being held to a higher standard. Is that fair? That's a really good question. Is it fair for Beyonce to be held to a higher standard than anyone else?
No.
Is it fair? I just want to throw that out there.
No.
Why is the black woman, and I understand because she is seen to have more of a responsibility, but I think we could take this conversation and apply it anywhere. Is it fair?
And no is the answer. I want to follow that up, and that's a fair question, and no is the answer. To me, it represented, they are maybe the most powerful couple on the planet, right? This diamond is the most powerful rock or stone of its kind on the planet. Together, they are powerful. People read into it. Now they're holding people to different accountabilities and things like that. Before I know we have to run, but Beyonce, I'm proud of her for taking accountability. I didn't know where it came from, but why am I being judged when this is only the fourth person to wear it? Nobody was held accountable in the past, but now I am.
Right. And at least we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. All right, so coming up on DBL, it's a first ever for Dancing with the Stars, the history-making moment you'll see this season. Plus, the most offensive mascots. Does the leprechaun from the Fighting Irish really belong on that list? And it's our Dr. Coley. There she is here in studio. She's going to debunk COVID myths coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
We've all got.
Okay, what's up, you guys? So, I'm gonna read some of your comments. Hi, Doc. Hi. She takes my seat because she's better than me. Okay, so a lot of people write in, right on, Erica, right on, Erica. I specifically want you guys to, sorry, I'm trying to get out of people's way. Is it fair that Lady Gaga, if you didn't know the whole story, she wore that diamond to the Academy Awards, and not like a long time ago, for her, for her Star Is Born, in the shallow, shallow. Tiffany, do you want to sing? She doesn't know the song. So she wore it, so like a couple of years ago, no one said a peep. We searched for articles, no one brought it up. The second Beyonce wears it for Tiffanys, everyone's talking about how it's a blood diamond. Why the two differences? Erica doesn't, we don't cower around it. It's because one's black and one's white. So we call it out like we do here Daily Blast Live. Is it fair is what Erica had to say. I'd love to hear your opinions from all over the country. That's what you guys are here for. So write in, especially on the YouTube comment page or Twitter, and we'll try and get you on the show. Thanks, guys.
To treat COVID, and it is hurting them. Our very own Dr. Payal Kohli joining us live to dive into this and give us the facts. So Dr. Kohli, we know that one doctor is under investigation for prescribing a drug used to treat cattle. Are there also, and there are also reports of a drug used for deworming livestock that are flying off shelves in Texas. Break it down why these drugs are dangerous and why they are for animals and not for humans.
You guys just think about it. The drug was designed for a 1,000-pound animal. animal and you're giving it to a human. So you're very susceptible to getting an overdose of this drug. This is called ivermectin. Now, there are human preparations of ivermectin as well, but they're used for things like lice or scabies. There is absolutely no data that they're used for antiviral purposes to fight a viral infection like COVID-19. So if you go and take this drug, and 70% of the people that are taking this are taking it in the animal doses, get an overdose, you could end up with seizures, coma, and even death.
Oh my gosh.
So why are people taking this drug then? Like, is there examples out there?
Yeah, so here's why people are taking it, because of social media. This demonstrates to us the power of social media, good or bad. So today, if I started a tweet that said, if you jump up and down 25 times, you're not going to get COVID, and it started going viral and everybody started talking about it, people would believe it. So this is really a prime example of misinformation. There was some preliminary science that it may be beneficial in COVID, but there's been absolutely nothing to show that it has any therapeutic benefit.
Well, something else that's really raising eyebrows is this new study that's showing that people who have had COVID and recover actually have stronger immunity than people who have just been vaccinated. So is this going to add more fuel to the fire, and is this true?
The first question, absolutely. We have to take a grain of salt with the study because the study is an observational study with confounding. So let me explain that to you. So Erica, if you got the vaccine, and Sam, let's say you didn't, I know you both did, but if you didn't, so that was the one difference between you. But let's say your behaviors are also different. So you got the vaccine, but you're not wearing your mask anywhere. You didn't get the vaccine, so you're actually having to wear your mask everywhere. That's called confounding. So something else is leading to the difference that people are confusing and thinking is a result of the intervention of the vaccine.
So there's too many variables in this equation.
That's exactly right. And they acknowledge that they didn't control for all those variables like social distancing, mask wearing behavior, which are critical to our risk of infection. But I will say there are differences, you guys, between natural immunity and vaccine immunity. So when you get the vaccine, you only see the spike protein, right, of the virus. You're not getting the rest of it. When you get the natural infection, your body makes antibodies to the entire virus, all different parts of it.
But does it ever diminish?
Yes, and in fact, the data tells us that it can diminish faster if your initial infection was not as severe. So if you're one of those lucky people who only got a cold, maybe your immune system never really got that revved up, so it never really made that many antibodies, and so they go away faster. What we're seeing with the vaccines is that the immunity is longer lasting, and it's more durable, and it's more predictable. Now, the best kind of immunity, if you had the COVID-19 infection and then got vaccinated, some scientists are saying that may be lifelong immunity because you got your infection and your booster.
I'm so angry that there's so much misinformation out there. I'm so angry that we don't get someone like you to, to dispel all and debunk all this misinformation. I know we can do it on our show, but I wish it was worldwide. So Dr. Coley, now we want to get your take on something not COVID related, okay? So an Oxford professor is saying blood pressure pills should be given to everyone over the age of 50, even if they don't have symptoms. So our question is it safe to take a drug that you don't really need? And could these drugs lead to other symptoms, problems, side effects?
So, you know what this study showed you guys is that if your blood pressure is lowered, you have less likelihood of having a heart attack or stroke. Now think about it. Blood pressure is the pressure inside your arteries. It makes your arteries sticky so that the cholesterol can go and stick. So if you have less blood pressure, the heart's doing less work, the arteries have less damage to them, they're just happier. So the idea here is even if you don't have symptoms from your high blood pressure, you need to get it treated. Now, if you have no symptoms and normal blood pressure, this study doesn't apply to you.
Are we just like so lucky that we have her? We really are. Thank you so much, Dr. Coley. Coming up on DBL, the Notre Dame leprechaun lands on the list of most offensive mascots. Do you agree, or is this yet another example of cancel culture going too far?
With another round of COVID shots underway for some, many of you wanted to know if you can switch things up. So we went to the CDC and Novant Health infectious disease specialist, Dr. David Priest, to find out. Viewer Ron S. asked us if those getting an additional dose had to get the same brand as the first time. First, we'll remind you, the extra doses available are only Pfizer and Moderna right now, and they're only for people who originally got Pfizer and Moderna.
Try to stick with the brand of vaccine you got for the first 2 doses, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
The CDC says if you don't know or don't have the original mRNA brand, you can get either mRNA vaccine. So we can verify you don't have to get the same brand for your 3rd dose, but mixing it up is really a last resort. Now, what about Johnson & Johnson? Viewer Lisa B asked if someone could switch from Johnson & Johnson to another brand for their additional dose.
I think roughly 900,000 people in the country who got Johnson & Johnson have already got an mRNA booster. So I think that's already happening, but there's no official guidance on that yet.
So clearly some people are skirting around official guidance here. But right now, the CDC says it still needs more info here on how safe and effective it is to mix J&J with an mRNA shot. So we can verify by the official guidance, you can't get Johnson & Johnson and then a different brand. But that guidance could change when more research comes out.
Welcome back to DBL. There's a list of the most controversial college mascots that is going viral, and now that list is getting a ton of pushback. So let's take a look at the top 4, okay? So according to a Quality Logo Products survey, the most controversial mascot is Florida State University's Osceola and Renegade. Number 2 on the list is San Diego State's Aztec Warrior. Number 3 is the University of Hawaii's Billy the Warrior. And number 4 is Notre Dame's Leprechaun. Yeah. Now Notre Dame has responded about this, telling the Indy Star, quote, "There is no comparison between Notre Dame's nickname and mascot and the Indian and warrior names and mascots used by the institutions." Tori, you always say accountability culture. Is this Leprechaun offensive? Is this accountability culture?
When I talk about mascots, I also say we should ask the people who are being marginalized or sort of made fun of, if you believe that. So I would ask the Irish. I would ask the Irish Council. I would talk to elders. I would talk to people in the community. I would ask, is this offensive? I don't know the answer because I'm not Irish, but do I want to see like a Jewish mascot like be sort of mocked and characterized? No, I'll be super honest with you. I went to Washington, D.C. We had the Redskins. I thought that was abhorrent, and so did the Native Americans in that area. So just question the people. Just ask them, does this bother you?
If you're not depicting them in a negative way, if you're almost...
It's a stereotypical way.
How many Irish guys do you know from Chicago have that logo tattooed on them? Because I know a dozen of them.
I'm sure many do, but I'm sure maybe some people don't want to be like, I'm the Irish.
Who? What, 2 people, 5 people?
Maybe I'm wrong, but
the majority of people, I would say 100%, that I know, that I've heard from, don't care about that, right? The Hawaiian mascot, right? That means if you don't like that and you have to replace that mascot, you cancel Maui, my favorite movie, Moana. You have to cancel that because then now you're saying that's depicted in a negative way. If you're not offending anybody,
I'm just saying ask the culture. So maybe if they don't, ask the Irish Council in wherever Notre Dame is. Ask them specifically.
Here's what I'm getting at. I don't know where a lot of this comes from. A lot of people are up in arms. Who's up in arms? Like, I don't know who made these rules for certain things.
No, this is interesting because there's case study for this. Jersey Shore. When Jersey Shore first came out, I'm being serious. When Jersey Shore first came out, there was this whole contingent of Italians who were like, this is offensive, this is parody on our culture. And then there was another demographic that was like, I love this, I want to emulate this, I'm going to get it tattooed on my arm. So that's our case study, right? Which means that no one agrees.
But you're never going to make everybody happy. You're right. You're never going to make everybody happy.
So go neutral. So go neutral.
What neutral?
Neutral's a kangaroo. Don't do something that's specifically Irish that might
Nobody
be feels
wants to see the kangaroos playing the Bears.
Okay. But kangaroos are gnarly. Have you ever seen?
They
I'm going to show a picture at some point of a jacked up kangaroo.
Right. She is right.
We've shown it on the show.
We have.
Yes.
It's pretty strong. We'll be right
Well, the
back.
Bears aren't that great anyway.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
planes have taken off from Kabul's airport carrying Americans and other evacuees out of Afghanistan. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney claimed in an August 19th Twitter post, liked more than 17,000 times, that President Joe Biden is charging Americans for their flights. Verify viewer Mike asked, is the U.S. government charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan? So, Mike, let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. State Department, the Overseas Security Advisory Council, and the U.S. Code of Laws. On August 7th, the U.S. Embassy in Kabul urged Americans to immediately leave Afghanistan on commercial flights and offered loans to help cover the cost if needed. A week later, the embassy again urged Americans to take commercial flights and warned for the first time that flights chartered by the State Department may cost $2,000 or more per person. Historically, during a crisis, the State Department charges private citizens and third country nationals the cost of a full-fare economy ticket for charter flights it arranges to the U.S. The agency cites a section of U.S. law requiring passengers to reimburse the government. This happened last year when Americans were evacuated from Wuhan, China during the start of the pandemic. However, in this case, a State Department spokesperson tells Verify it isn't asking anyone for reimbursement for return to the U.S., given the situation. And the Secretary of State said the embassy in Kabul also sent out that message.
We even made clear that we would help pay for their repatriation. And we provided multiple communication channels for Americans to contact us if they're in Afghanistan and want help in leaving.
So, it's false that the U.S. government is charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan. Since her post, Congresswoman Tenney has acknowledged Americans leaving Afghanistan aren't being charged and introduced a bill to ensure the flights remain free. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Here's something you don't see every day at a minor league baseball game. Someone paid $5.
$5 million?
$5.
Oh.
To post this fan shout out on the Jumbotron.
I love this.
Fan shout out, like in quotes, because it actually read, Alyssa, this relationship is over. Tim. And over is in all caps. Whoa, is this too harsh?
I'm just saying, this is like an SNL skit, because first it's at a minor league game at a Jumbotron. The guy's named Tim being like, it's over, Alyssa. All of it's a joke, but it's pretty petty, and I bet Alyssa hurt him.
I wonder if it's your dude, Timmy Nipple.
Tommy Nipples.
Tommy's offended by that comment, just so you know.
If you're leaving us, a little inside baseball, if you will. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A major theft on the set of Mission Impossible 7. Find out how Tom Cruise became a target in the crime. And Dancing with the Stars is set to have a history-making season. The big change you'll see with one of the couples this year.
Could drones play a part in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's connect the dots. Atrium Health has been working with UPS for a long time to perfect this technology. Now they can use a drone to deliver vaccines 25 doses at a time from the main hospital to nearby practices and pharmacies. And this is not your normal delivery drone. It's climate controlled. Remember, the COVID vaccine has to be stored in incredibly cold temperatures, so the drone is packed with special gel to keep them cool. But is drone delivery actually that helpful for delivering vaccines? Researchers say yes in certain situations. Drones could help transport vaccines to places that are hard to reach by delivery truck. In fact, the technology is already widely being used by Pfizer to ship vaccines in Ghana. And here in the U.S., drones could help lighten the load for delivery drivers. Saving a few trips with this technology could go a long way, as companies face staffing shortages and a growing mountain of online deliveries. Still, it could be a while before we see drones take over the vaccine rollout. Right now, Atrium is only operating one drone within a mile radius in Winston-Salem. The technology is looking promising for fighting disease in the future, and that is connecting the dots.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam, here with my friends Erica, Jeff, and Tori. Let's get started. All right, so YouTube star Jojo Siwa is making history. She, along with Olympian Suni Lee, were the first two contestants named for the new season of Dancing with the Stars. Jojo, who appeared on the reality show Dance Moms, came out as pansexual earlier this year and is currently dating a woman. She will be the first contestant to be paired with a same-sex partner. Jojo spoke about it on GMA this morning. Watch.
When I got asked to do Dancing with the Stars, they actually asked me, do you want to be with a boy or with a girl? And immediately, there was not even a question. I knew to make it right for the people who come after me that Dancing with a Girl was the exact thing that I wanted to do.
I love her. What did you think?
Does everybody have the same question?
What?
Who's going to lead?
Oh, I don't.
You didn't have this question?
No.
You didn't think this?
No.
the
I've been to a lesbian wedding. Why would I think
the
that?
The professional dancer leads.
That's not true.
Oh, I always thought it was the professional.
Well, usually what he's saying is that the male leads.
Yeah, I know, but in Dancing with the
definitely.
Stars, it's always the professional that leads.
I don't think that's true.
That's your big question?
Who's going to lead in the same-sex dance partnership?
I think this is such a bizarre. We are going to battle this question out. This is such a bizarre question.
That's the first thing I thought about.
No, because you're talking about the role, which you're saying lead. That's a role. It's not gender specific.
Sure it is.
No. Have you ever been to a wedding when two women were getting married? No one's like, oh God, we can't dance until we find some man to sub in for us.
But that's not like just dancing. This is competitive ballroom dancing, and traditionally the man leads and the women follows.
Yes,
right?
in heteronormative society. However, as
no, in normal, yeah.
No, in heteronormative society.
Yeah, I know that's the same thing. But you threw that big word.
I'm just
I was like,
throwing it out there.
Yes.
But as Steph brought up the fact that when there are less guys or less little boys when they're first training, when they're younger, it's very common for two women or two young girls to switch off on who's leading.
But someone is the lead.
Right, and it's a female. And in this situation, JoJo's also a dancer, so they can probably switch off anyway.
Like my
but
best
the
friend
question still remains, who will lead?
If my best friend Jackie got married to her wife, okay, and they classically ballroom danced at their wedding, and I think Jackie was a lead because they picked it and they rehearsed it and they did it. It didn't have to be a male. It just usually is in the world we see.
Well, again, the question is,
oh my God.
who will lead?
They'll probably
they'll pick. Yeah, they'll pick someone.
That's That's my question. It's not homophobic.
No,
it's not
I'm
anything
not
like
saying
that.
that.
But people already have their guns
No
out and they're
one's
ready to
saying
type.
that.
Listen, it's a legit, fair question.
Yes.
Who will lead in traditional ballroom dancing? The male
And we're
leads. There
answering
is
you.
no
And we're
male
answering
in
you.
this.
And we're answering you.
Well,
They pick one of the women.
We'll have to watch to find out. I just want to say, as a fan of JoJo's, I am just so excited because JoJo's 18 years old and she has a lot of young fans.
Huge
and there's
amount.
a lot of young fans out there that may be watching Dancing with the Stars with their parents, and they get to see some representation for once. And I know that when JoJo came out, by the way, there was a lot of parents that were ticked off. A lot of parents celebrated her, but a lot of parents thought that this was immoral of her, and I say that in quotes. So I'm really happy that because she is just an absolute gem. I mean, she's not only an entrepreneur, but she's talented.
She's a great role model.
Yeah, she has have you seen her line in Target? If you walk into Target in the kids section, it's all JoJo. T-shirts and hair ties and purses, and so I'm just really happy.
I'm still thinking about if the woman always leads on Dancing with the Stars, and I don't think that's true. I think the male leads.
Oh,
we should look it up.
Yeah,
because you thought the star always leads.
I always thought the professional dancer always leads.
You're right. So I don't think that's true. I think the male always leads.
Okay,
but
we'll
I'd like to be corrected.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
I think Michael Dean is looking into it, or Karen is. Okay, so
and then Tori can mime it out for us.
Oh my gosh. That was a terrible mime.
What are you talking about? It looked like I was actually in a box.
No, you're supposed to actually press and press and press. Tori. That was good, Tori.
Thanks.
I had a bad angle too.
Okay. More drama on the set of Mission Impossible 7. Tom Cruise reportedly had thousands of dollars worth of luggage stolen after thieves made off with his bodyguard's BMW that was parked outside a hotel in England. Tom was filming scenes for the movie at the time. According to the Daily Mail, the car, which is similar to this one, was recovered soon after it was stolen because it was fitted with a tracking device, but everything inside was gone. And this is just the latest mishap, Erica. Let me just kind of give you a little rundown. So we knew that it had been shut down twice because of COVID, right? We also know that we saw Tom on that same set have that rant because of COVID, but that went viral. And then on the last Mission Impossible in 2018 is when he broke his ankle. So are these Mission Impossible films cursed? I mean, it seems like a lot of drama.
It does seem like a lot of drama, but I'm sure it's worth it once it hits the box office, and that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah, if it's easy, everybody does it, right? I think you have to go through more obstacles to get a higher level of success, and that's what Mission Impossible is doing.
It's not Mission Possible, is it? It's Mission Impossible, and that's what he's doing. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying that this does seem like a cursed set. If you're someone who's I'm a theater girl, and there's a lot of, what do you call it?
I'm letting you sit there.
No, what do you call it when you're...
Superstitious.
Thinking you wear certain things, you can't say certain things. This to me feels very much like someone did something and this set is cursed.
Really?
Yeah, there's too many over and over again. Nothing is flowing, nothing is going, and in that creativity,
give up. He better not.
He better not. But I think they got to sage the place. Something's cursed.
You don't think after 7 movies something might happen to go
Dude,
wrong?
it's been like 10 in a row, as she said.
Dude.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm so happy it's Friday.
I'm just gonna keep zinging Tori.
Weddings are not cheap, but would you send a no-show guest an invoice? Ooh. So a man recently posted this invoice for $240 that he was sent by a bride and groom. It stated that the guest confirmed their attendance to their destination wedding in Jamaica, but because they never canceled, they are now being billed the $120 each, which is what the couple paid the resort in advance. Erica, you're shaking your head. Tell me, girl.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. We need to normalize guest manners, period.
Ooh.
I don't know where y'all people were raised, but if somebody is throwing a party, throwing an event, and wants to host you as their guest, show a little bit of respect to just be like, hey, listen, I can't be there in time. Don't say you're gonna be there. That's the worst thing. Saying you're gonna be there and not showing up after they actually paid per head, which a lot of parties and weddings are, is super rude. I almost expect for people to be like, hey, I'm sorry, last minute I can come, so I could be like, good, because Knucklehead over here decided to call me 30 seconds before the party and say that he can't show up, which means I have extra food, which I paid for, so why don't you, you bring your friend and your grandmama too.
All right, I'm on the other side.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, so here's my take. You probably would have got paid more in cash if I showed up to that wedding. Me not coming, I'm gonna feel worse. I'd probably put a little bit more in there and give you that. You, as a close friend who's gonna send me a bill, As Sonny said in The Bronx Tale, for $240, you are now out of my life forever. You send me a bill, I will never contact you ever again. I will pay that bill and say, have a nice life, and you will never be invited to anything ever I have again.
That's true, but the issue is the couple has already told you that they don't want you in their life anymore by sending you a $240 bill, because they're saying you do not respect. This is the time where the village comes together in order to uplift and elevate the couple. You're bringing them down, which means that you are likely gone.
We're going through a pandemic. You can't
but don't
easily
say
travel.
you're going to come.
They didn't RSVP correctly.
It's one thing to be like, and things happen. So it's one thing to be like,
kids,
oh my gosh,
children,
something happened. We didn't have enough money, and my husband lost his job. Whatever it is, but clearly they just no show.
Yeah,
it was a complete no show.
That's a ghosting. I kind of agree with Eric on this one.
Me too.
Although I would be really. Oh, excuse me. I would be offended though if I got a bill.
I don't think they cared. They wanted to offend you. They did it for a reason. I'm with Eric.
That's a statement in itself.
Yeah, they felt completely ghosted and disrespected from two of what they thought was their best friends. So they were like, screw them. And that was their way of being like, you owe us. But I don't really think they were chasing the money. I think they were trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, coming up on DBL. A lie that led to a man's 27-year prison sentence. How he's turning his life around after being wrongfully convicted of murder. That is coming up next in Freedom Files.
Closed captioning provided by Okay.
You do.
A lot of people writing in about the Chief Osceola. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Osceola, excuse me. Marcy Ann says, I went to FSU, that's Florida State University. There's a strong relationship between the Seminole tribe, which is in Florida, in favor of FSU using that mascot because they work with FSU on programs to do it the right way and educate. And that's what I mean by asking the community. If they appreciate it, I don't have a problem with them using it. If the people like at the Washington, D.C. Redskins were like, this is a terrible slur, change it. It's not hard to just ask the marginalized group of people, hey, does this bother you? If it doesn't, cool.
But here's my problem you're right about the Redskins. Here's my problem with that. People who aren't Irish, let's just use Irish as a term to stay safe here. People who aren't Irish are just getting involved. And they're not even asking Irish people. It's people on the internet who aren't Irish, and they're saying, this is offensive.
I see.
You're not even Irish.
Ask
who
the
is
Irish,
it offending?
yeah, right.
You're right. Ask the Irish community.
The Irish
but
council.
People on social media are getting involved that shouldn't even be involved, nor should their opinion count or matter.
Right.
And that's who now everything is under a microscope. And it's like, it's not even offending you. You have nothing. Absolutely. It has nothing to do with you. You should ask the Irish community
That's what I
about
said.
that.
And also, if it does help the community and you educate and learn about the Seminoles, maybe that should be the mascot. And I'm not saying that in case someone is saying that is offensive, but perhaps that's good. Now, my mascot was the Grasshopper. What was yours?
Seems very fitting.
It is. I went to a hippie school.
Where?
In D.C.
No, I'm saying what level?
All of it. I went to
high school,
pre-K to high school,
college,
the whole thing.
You were Grasshopper the whole time?
I was a Grasshopper for 14 years.
Hey, do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Okay, Grasshopper walks in a bar, and the bartender says, hey, we got a drink named after you. And the Grasshopper goes, you're kidding. You got a drink named Ted?
That's kind of funny. Because there's a drink called the Grasshopper. So we can sing it.
Welcome back to DBL. Imagine going to prison for killing your best friend, but you never pulled the trigger. That happened to Earl Truvia. We spoke with him earlier in today's Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted.
It's Halloween night, 1975. 15-year-old Elliot Porter never makes it home.
He was a close friend of mine, and I know his family.
As police tape off the scene, a crowd gathers. 17-year-old Earl Truvia notices his friend's lifeless body.
And that moved me to go notify his mom. And when I went and knocked on the door, she came to the door and I told her that was her son that they found under the building.
A couple days later, a neighbor calls police with a very detailed story to tell.
She said me and my co-defendant and the victim passed in front of her window while she was on the third floor smoking a cigarette. Get out of her eyesight, and she heard 2 shots.
Earl is arrested and charged with second-degree murder.
Within the 90 days I'm in jail, I write his mom a letter expressing my condolences, and at the end of the letter, I'm telling her I'm an innocent man.
The DA assures Elliot's mom they have the right man, their case resting solely on the neighbor's testimony. Not only does the witness say she saw Earl with the victim, but she tells a tale so horrific, Earl's legal team is left speechless.
She said that we broke in her apartment and projected threats for her not to go to the police. And she stated that I had put a pistol to her 18-year-old baby head.
After just 14 minutes of deliberations, Earl is found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. At just 18 years old, Earl enters Louisiana State Penitentiary, also known as Angola.
Kill or get killed. And I had to go there with that demeanor.
The teen embraces the prison culture to survive.
I got caught up in the drug game in prison. I had the deputies bringing me drugs.
There's just one thing that stops him from being fully consumed by the darkness.
That was my fight to prove my innocence. No matter how dark it was, but I had just that much light to believe in.
After 25 years in prison, the Innocence Project gets involved in Earl's case. They find secrets about the state's star witness that were never disclosed at Earl's original trial.
Then she was a drug addict, paranoid schizophrenic. She had a criminal history. She stayed in trouble with the law.
His lawyers also discover that the line of sight the witness said she had is in fact blocked by a balcony. The state grants him a new trial.
I told my attorneys I would die in Angola before I plead guilty to make the government right over me. 30 days later, they dismissed the charge.
After 27 years in prison, Earl is a free man.
Earl, welcome to DBL. Okay, so you've said the one thing that haunts you the most is the why. You want to know why the witness lied, but you actually ran into her after your release. So tell us what happened when you saw her.
I sit right next to her, and I'd say Sheila Robinson. I just called her name out the blue when she looked at me. She asked me who I were. I said Earl Truvia. And she dropped with her mouth open, and she jumped up and went in the car with me, and I went behind her. And she started crying, and I embraced her, and I told her it's all right. She brought me before the congregation of the church and told her pastor, this guy did 27 years for a testimony that I gave he was wrongfully convicted.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Earl, you say that the second lie has hurt you even more since you've become a grandfather. Tell us why that is.
Well, at the time, I have a grandchild that's right at 18 months, and her testimony was so devastating after I really learned the collateral damage of it. And when I see my grandson, he loved me dearly. And even all around the world, when I see babies and kids at that moment, it triggered in my head what really the jury had pounded upon, and it took them only 14 minutes to get a guilty verdict. And that was her last testimony that stuck out in their head. An 18-year-old kid being threatened with an overgrown man as myself then at that time, putting a gun to her baby head, and that was my best friend that got killed. Wow. And so I was charged for killing my best friend.
Oh my God.
Earl, I can't imagine the trauma that you have gone through. What a story. And you also said that you learned quickly it was kill or get killed, right, while in prison. How did you show strength?
Yes.
And how did you survive while in prison?
It's just like when you're in Rome, you live like the Rome. So I knew at my age, I had to defend myself because of the male institution that, you know, I used to hear stories about prison, and now I'm in a situation wrongfully. So I have a double burden I have to protect, as well as being a black man, and the way the prison is designed, that's what it was, only the strong survive. And to test my strength, I had to live just like a gladiator. And I had a couple of altercations. I had to, you know, defend myself and resorted to additional charges. But at that early stage, I was still having a psychological impact upon me. I'm here, and anything that rubbed me wrong, I mean, I had to defend to the best of my ability. I thank God I had my faith in a prayer life and to keep my strength and my sanity, and that basically contained me having a prayer life and trusting God through it all.
All right. Well, Earl, thank you for sharing your story and for the transparency. Wow. We'll be right back.
We all know that
With another round of COVID shots underway for some, many of you wanted to know if you can switch things up. So we went to the CDC and Novant Health infectious disease specialist, Dr. David Priest, to find out. Viewer Ron S. asked us if those getting an additional dose had to get the same brand as the first time. First, we'll remind you, the extra doses available are only Pfizer and Moderna right now, and they're only for people who originally got Pfizer and Moderna.
Try to stick with the brand of vaccine you got for the first 2 doses, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
The CDC says if you don't know or don't have the original mRNA brand, you can get either mRNA vaccine. So we can verify you don't have to get the same brand for your 3rd dose, but mixing it up is really a last resort. Now, what about Johnson & Johnson? Viewer Lisa B. asked if someone could switch from Johnson & Johnson to another brand for their additional dose.
I think roughly 900,000 people in the country who got Johnson & Johnson have already got an mRNA booster. So I think that's already happening, but there's no official guidance on that yet.
So clearly some people are skirting around official guidance here. But right now, the CDC says it still needs more info here on how safe and effective it is to mix J&J with an mRNA shot. So we can verify, by the official guidance, you can't get Johnson & Johnson and then a different brand. But that guidance could change when more research comes out.
Welcome back to DBL. Have you heard that just 4 seconds, just 4, of exercise can change your life? We're chatting about it, and today on today's DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB, new research shows that 4 seconds of high-intensity exercise repeated 2 or 3 times or 3 dozen times is all most people need to build muscle and maintain their fitness levels. The trick is making each 4-second burst as grueling as possible. So you want to work your body as hard as you can for those 4 seconds, but not to the point where you can't finish each 4-second workout. People who exercise like this were found to burn fat much faster the next day. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I can do this. Thank goodness. I can do this.
When I read it today, I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, done.
But no, you got to give it all, your all.
Yeah.
That means full intensity. Your knees got to be high. Your elbows got to be swinging. You got to full intensify.
You're scaring me.
And what you did was like 1 second. Do that 4 seconds and then do it 3 dozen times.
Yeah.
I bet you're going to get a
Look
little
at
winded.
Erica's face. Are your eyes watering? What's happening?
I think she used to cough, I think.
She used to cough?
No, I'm fine, y'all.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Attention.
Could drones play a part in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's connect the dots. Atrium Health has been working with UPS for a long time to perfect this technology. Now they can use a drone to deliver vaccines 25 doses at a time from the main hospital to nearby practices and pharmacies. And this is not your normal delivery drone. It's climate controlled. Remember, the COVID vaccine has to be stored in incredibly cold temperatures, so the drone is packed with special gel to keep them cool. But is drone delivery actually that helpful for delivering vaccines? Researchers say yes in certain situations. Drones could help transport vaccines to places that are hard to reach by delivery truck. In fact, the technology is already widely being used by Pfizer to ship vaccines in Ghana. And here in the U.S., drones could help lighten the load for delivery drivers. Saving a few trips with this technology could go a long way, as companies face staffing shortages and a growing mountain of online deliveries. Still, it could be a while before we see drones take over the vaccine rollout. Right now, Atrium is only operating one drone within a mile radius in Winston-Salem. The technology is looking promising for fighting disease in the future. And that is connecting the dots. Could drones play a part in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's connect the dots. Atrium Health has been working with UPS for a long time to perfect this technology. Now they can use a drone to deliver vaccines 25 doses at a time from the main hospital to nearby practices and pharmacies. And this is not your normal delivery drone. It's climate controlled. Remember, the COVID vaccine has to be stored in incredibly cold temperatures, so the drone is packed with special gel to keep them cool. But is drone delivery actually that helpful for delivering vaccines? Researchers say yes in certain situations. Drones could help transport vaccines to places that are hard to reach by delivery truck. In fact, the technology is already widely being used by Pfizer to ship vaccines in Ghana. And here in the U.S., drones could help lighten the load for delivery drivers. Saving a few trips with this technology could go a long way, as companies face staffing shortages and a growing mountain.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we got, Tori?
All right, this is with Jojo Siwa, Dancing with the Stars. Carol C. agrees with Jeff. I don't think Jeff means a man needs to lead, maybe, but how will they choose who will lead? I had the same question. Mary Bennett says, Jeff, the two dancers will make that decision. Doesn't matter if they're both female. We actually got info from the booth. Jojo has been on an interview quoted as saying, I'd love it if we switched on and off with the lead.
Again, a fair question. You're absolutely right. It doesn't matter who leads, but it's a fair question. If it's male, who leads? If it's female, who leads? What? That's the only question. Because I know, listen, read the comments that really what's going on, and I'm sure they're a lot worse than
I think you spoke for a lot of people that were confused, and I think we also had that conversation for a lot of people to be enlightened by it.
I feel enlightened.
Would you?
Why is everyone being weird?
I don't know.
Sorry, I was listening to the producers. Would you ever let a female lead you if you were dancing?
Sure. I don't know how to dance anyway, so that's how they teach me.
Right? You don't know how to dance? I don't believe that.
Do you know how to ballroom dance?
No, but I feel like you do.
He said he does.
Okay, I was lying.
I bet Jeff does. He does you every day. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place.
Tori's so mad that you think that.
No, I don't. I'm fine.
Why do you think that Jeff knows how to dance?
Today on Daily Blast Live.
Kanye's controversial listening party with canceled stars Marilyn Manson and DaBaby. And is that actually Kim in a wedding dress? Beyonce gets slammed for her photo shoot with Tiffanys. Why the diamond she wore is causing so much controversy. A list of the most offensive mascots is making a lot of people mad. Is Notre Dame's leprechaun really insulting to the Irish? And in today's Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted. A witness lies on the stand, putting an innocent 18-year-old in prison for murder. How did he get out 27 years later?
That was my fight to prove my innocence.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Friday, August 27th. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. Let's get started. But first, we do want to acknowledge that there are a lot of very heavy things going on in Afghanistan and other places around the world today. And our thoughts and our prayers are with you. We are going to turn to some lighter things. So up first, a lot of you have been writing in about this story all morning long. So let's talk about it. Kanye West held a third listening party for his new album, Donda, at Soldier Field in Chicago last night. Now, the show included a reconstruction of his childhood home. And at one point, Kanye appeared to set himself on fire. But everyone, including our viewers, are talking about this moment when someone who appears to be Kim Kardashian coming out in a Balenciaga wedding dress. Some are reporting that it's definitely Kim, others not so sure. Fan video posted on Twitter also showed Kanye holding hands with the maybe Kim as they were leaving the show. So what do you all think about this? I know that you just said the other day you're a huge Kanye fan and that he intrigues you.
Definitely. So let's just take this beat because we have another beat following this. The artistry of it all. Whether that's Kim or Kanye, or whether it's Kim Kardashian or not, it's just a symbolism of that is Kim, right? I just love that. I love that where he came from, he gets to put his home and recreate it in that stadium and perform. And Kanye's always walking that line, right? Always walking that line. Is it controversial? Is it artistry? What is it? That's what I see when I see Kanye. So just speaking clearly on the artistry point of it, I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
I thought it was really interesting just the amount of recreations he did. He recreated the exact house. He recreated the wedding. He recreated the feeling of being isolated. So for someone who went through trauma, which he has and has a mental illness that he speaks openly about, recreating can be very helpful, can be very cathartic. And he did it in front of a lot of people. And maybe that's his way of healing. As an art history person, this is such an interesting performance art piece with mixed media and pop culture references. It's really an interesting piece. I like it.
What do you think, Erica? Especially as a Chicagoan, is that what do I say?
Chicagoan. I'm with Jeff on that aspect of the art. I don't think it matters if it was truly Kim physically or not. I think we all understand that it represents Kim.
And if it is Kim, more power to them. You know, we don't often give credit to the Kardashians, but this is a couple what looks like are really doing it right for their children, right? Whether or not that they're married anymore, they are supporting each other's careers. So if this is Kim, it seems like that is an example that I think a lot of people who go through divorce, which is a lot of our viewers who have written in, that's something that you do want to emulate.
I'm going to tell you why it's not. In a second.
You don't think it is Kim?
Let's hit this next beat.
All right. So Kanye, let's hit this next beat.
Yo, producer, roll it.
So Kanye also had some very controversial guests appear at the show. So at one point, he was joined on stage by Marilyn Manson and rapper DaBaby, who have both been in the news for some very controversial things. So if you didn't know, DaBaby recently made some very homophobic comments, and Marilyn Manson has been sued by multiple women for sexual assault.
So what? Kanye couldn't get R. Kelly out on a conditional release? He was right up the street. Why stop here?
Chicagoan, yes.
Why stop here? I mean, obviously, we're talking about cancel culture, and he's using it as a form of art to evoke conversation. But I really do not understand what the conversation is in this capacity.
All right, so now let's jump. I'll touch on both, but this is why I don't think it's Kim Kardashian, because he brought them on stage. Again, I don't think she wants her name tied up in all
That's a
that
good point.
controversy.
That's a
right?
very good point.
And that's not mine. That's Stephanie Jones. I have to give that to her. We came to that conclusion earlier. But it makes sense if it's not.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be performing
she's
on
very
stage
particular
with
about
these
that.
very controversial people, which I know Kanye's getting flack for. And that's where people draw that line. I know we disagree on Kanye. He walks that line. Does he step over? Is this too far? In my mind, he might have stepped over the line, bringing that on stage. I understand, though, what it represents. It represents that cancel culture, and can they not have a comeback? But is this the time? Is this the place? Should he have done that? That's what we're talking about.
And I agree with you, but he diluted the message by bringing on a sexual assault person that's been under the spotlight on that. Had he done someone that was unfairly canceled, allegedly, excuse me, like Aziz Ansari or someone even that we don't, the Marilyn Manson to me ruined the whole take, because now you're diluting it by putting what I think is an alleged criminal up there and saying he shouldn't be canceled. He should be canceled. That's accountability. To me, he missed the mark on that one.
Oof, all right, so from one artist to another, Beyonce is finding herself between a rock and a hard place. She and Jay-Z recently appeared in this Tiffanys ad. I'm sure you guys saw it all over Instagram. And Beyonce is wearing this gigantic diamond that's more than 128 carats. She's only the fourth woman and first black woman to wear it. Lady Gaga wore it to the Oscars, and Audrey Hepburn wore it in Breakfast at Tiffany's. But some are saying it is a blood diamond and that it was found in a mine where African laborers were forced to work in horrendous conditions for minimal pay, and many of them died. So Beyonce reportedly did not know. And in a statement to The Sun, a spokesperson said, quote, Beyonce is disappointed and angry that she wasn't made aware of questions about the stone's history. What do you think of people criticizing Beyonce?
I think that when we're having this accountability culture conversation and we say it's not cancel, it's accountability, then you have Beyonce taking accountability in the bravest way possible. Because the truth is, by her being vulnerable enough to be honest and say, I did not know the history, she's also putting herself in a very vulnerable place, because people are looking at her and saying, well, you should have known the history. A lot of people who are saying that also didn't know the history. So by her being honest and saying, I'm taking accountability for the fact that this was not vetted and I should have known better, is bringing a lot of people up to speed on this very tragic origin of this diamond. But it's also promoting conversation. So if we truly are talking about accountability culture, this is how it's done, because this conversation would not have been had otherwise.
Before you chime in, I wanted, to Erica's point, Tina Knowles wrote this to a lot of the social media comments. She wrote, how many of you socially conscious activists own diamonds? I thought so. Well, guess what? Did you go try to check and see where the diamond came from? Probably not. So a lot of people are so quick, Tori, to Erica's point, to condemn her, but do they know the origins of their very own diamonds?
Or anything else that they have, your iPhone, your soda you're drinking. You had brought up other bottling
just
companies.
Any product.
Anything
that you wear, anything that you consume.
How far have you gone back to research that? And I will also say this, which I find really interesting, is that when it comes to Beyonce wearing that and saying, I don't know, my father, who I think is the smartest person alive, always said the three smartest words are, I don't know. Being brave enough to say that, you don't get yourself in trouble with a cover-up, with trying to do all this. You hold yourself accountable. You say you don't know, and you don't speak on facts you don't know. So I so appreciated her saying it. Do I think her reps should have vetted better? Yeah. I think her team didn't do her service. I'll say that.
Did anybody rep when this was worn Breakfast at Tiffany's, or when it was worn a couple of years ago at the Oscars? Nobody said one word.
We looked into that. We didn't see any comments.
This is an interesting conversation. The reason why is because Lady Gaga and Audrey Hepburn aren't black.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I mean, that's the reason. Beyonce can make no small mistakes, period, especially when it comes to issues that affect black and African descendants.
Right.
So, yes, she is being held to a higher standard. Is that fair? That's a really good question. Is it fair for Beyonce to be held to a higher standard than anyone else?
No.
Is it fair? I just want to throw that out there.
No.
Why is the black woman, and I understand because she is seen to have more of a responsibility, but I think we could take this conversation and apply it anywhere. Is it fair?
Yeah. And no is the answer. I want to follow that up, and that's a fair question, and no is the answer. To me, it represented they are maybe the most powerful couple on the planet, right? This diamond is the most powerful rock or stone of its kind on the planet. Together, they are powerful. People read into it. Now they're holding people to different accountabilities and things like that. Before I know we have to run, but Beyonce, I'm proud of her for taking accountability. I didn't know where it came from, but why am I being judged when this is only the fourth person to wear it? Nobody was held accountable in the past, but now I am.
Right. And at least we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. All right, so coming up on DBL, it's a first ever for Dancing with the Stars, the history-making moment you'll see this season. Plus, the most offensive mascots. Does the leprechaun from the Fighting Irish really belong on that list? And it's our Dr. Coley. There she is here in studio. She's going to debunk COVID myths coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by...
Okay, what's up, you guys? So, I'm gonna read some of your comments. Hi, Doc. Hi. She takes my seat because she's better than me. Okay, so a lot of people write in, right on, Erica, right on, Erica. I specifically want you guys to, sorry, I'm trying to get out of people's way. Is it fair that Lady Gaga, if you didn't know the whole story, she wore that diamond to the Academy Awards, and not like a long time ago, for her, for her Star is Born. In the shallow, shallow. Tiffany, do you want to sing? She doesn't know the song. So she wore it, so like a couple of years ago, no one said a peep. We searched for articles. No one brought it up. The second Beyonce wears it for Tiffanys, everyone's talking about how it's a blood diamond. Why the two differences? Erica doesn't, we don't cower around it. It's because one's black and one's white. So we call it out like we do here at Daily Blast Live. Is it fair is what Erica had to say. I'd love to hear your opinions from all over the country. That's what you guys are here for. So write in, especially on the YouTube comment page or Twitter, and we'll try and get you on the show. Thanks, guys.
DBL is your daytime destination.
I get very excited.
I was excited with you.
Okay, thank you.
We are fired up.
I am feeling very disagreeable.
Educate yourself. Though I got to push back because sometimes.
No, I won't accept that.
Check that.
And having fun.
Do you have 2 straws and a strawberry shake?
I felt it in my heart and in my soul.
What's Jeff thinking?
I don't want to get canceled.
DBL's all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. So today we've got to debunk something pretty serious. People are taking medicine intended for cattle to treat COVID, and it is hurting them. Our very own Dr. Pyle Coley joining us live to dive into this and give us the facts. So Dr. Coley, we know that one doctor is under investigation for prescribing a drug used to treat cattle. Are there also, and there are also reports of a drug used for deworming livestock that are flying off shelves in Texas. Break it down why these drugs are dangerous and why they are for animals and not for humans.
You guys just think about it. The drug was designed for a 1,000-pound animal, and you're giving it to a human. So you're very susceptible to getting an overdose of this drug. This is called ivermectin. Now, there are human preparations of ivermectin as well, but they're used for things like lice or scabies. There is absolutely no data that they're used for antiviral purposes to fight a viral infection like COVID-19. So if you go and take this drug, and 70% of the people that are taking this are taking it in the animal doses, get an overdose, you could end up with seizures, coma, and even death.
Oh my gosh.
So why are people taking this drug then? Like, is there examples out there?
Yeah, so here's why people are taking it, because of social media. This demonstrates to us the power of social media, good or bad. So today, if I started a tweet that said, if you jump up and down 25 times, you're not going to get COVID, and it started going viral and everybody started talking about it, people would believe it. So this is really a prime example of misinformation. There was some preliminary science that it may be beneficial in COVID, but there's been absolutely nothing to show that it has any therapeutic benefit.
Well, something else that's really raising eyebrows is this new study that's showing that people who have had COVID and recover actually have stronger immunity than people who have just been vaccinated. So is this going to add more fuel to the fire, and is this true?
The first question, absolutely. We have to take a grain of salt with this study because the study is an observational study with confounding. So let me explain that to you. So Erica, if you got the vaccine, and Sam, let's say you didn't, I know you both did, but if you didn't, so that was the one difference between you. But let's say your behaviors are also different. So you got the vaccine, but you're not wearing your mask anywhere. You didn't get the vaccine, so you're actually having to wear your mask everywhere. That's called confounding. So something else is leading to the difference that people are confusing and thinking is a result of the intervention of the vaccine.
So there's too many variables in this equation.
That's exactly right. And they acknowledge that they didn't control for all those variables like social distancing, mask wearing behavior, which are critical to our risk of infection. But I will say there are differences, you guys, between natural immunity and vaccine immunity. So when you get the vaccine, you only see the spike protein, right, of the virus. You're not getting the rest of it. When you get the natural infection, your body makes antibodies to the entire virus, all different parts of it.
But does it ever diminish?
Yes, and in fact, the data tells us that it can diminish faster if your initial infection was not as severe. So if you're one of those lucky people who only got a cold, maybe your immune system never really got that revved up, so it never really made that many antibodies, and so they go away faster. What we're seeing with the vaccines is that the immunity is longer lasting, and it's more durable, and it's more predictable. Now, the best kind of immunity, if you had the COVID-19 infection and then got vaccinated, some scientists are saying that may be lifelong immunity because you got your infection and your booster.
I'm so angry that there's so much misinformation out there. I'm so angry that we don't get someone like you to, to dispel all and debunk all this misinformation. I know we can do it on our show, but I wish it was worldwide. So Dr. Coley, now we want to get your take on something not COVID related, okay? So an Oxford professor is saying blood pressure pills should be given to everyone over the age of 50, even if they don't have symptoms. So our question is it safe to take a drug that you don't really need? And could these drugs lead to other symptoms, problems, side effects?
So, you know what this study showed you guys is that if your blood pressure is lowered, you have less likelihood of having a heart attack or stroke. Now think about it. Blood pressure is the pressure inside your arteries. It makes your arteries sticky so that the cholesterol can go and stick. So if you have less blood pressure, the heart's doing less work, the arteries have less damage to them, they're just happier. So the idea here is even if you don't have symptoms from your high blood pressure, you need to get it treated. Now if you have no symptoms and normal blood pressure, this study doesn't apply to you.
Are we just like so lucky that we have her? We really are. Thank you so much, Dr. Coley. Coming up on DBL, the Notre Dame leprechaun lands on the list of most offensive mascots. Do you agree, or is this yet another example of cancel culture going too far?
With another round of COVID shots underway for some, many of you wanted to know if you can switch things up. So we went to the CDC and Novant Health infectious disease specialist, Dr. David Priest, to find out. Viewer Ron S. asked us if those getting an additional dose had to get the same brand as the first time. First, we'll remind you, the extra doses available are only Pfizer and Moderna right now, and they're only for people who originally got Pfizer and Moderna.
Try to stick with the brand of vaccine you got for the first 2 doses, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
The CDC says if you don't know or don't have the original mRNA brand, you can get either mRNA vaccine. So we can verify you don't have to get the same brand for your 3rd dose, but mixing it up is really a last resort. Now, what about Johnson & Johnson? Viewer Lisa B. asked if someone could switch from Johnson & Johnson to another brand for their additional dose.
I think roughly 900,000 people in the country who got Johnson & Johnson have already got an mRNA booster. So I think that's already happening, but there's no official guidance on that yet.
So clearly, some people are skirting around official guidance here. But right now, the CDC says it still needs more info here on how safe and effective it is to mix J&J with an mRNA shot. So we can verify, by the official guidance, you can't get Johnson & Johnson and then a different brand. But that guidance could change when more research comes out.
Welcome back to DBL. There's a list of the most controversial college mascots that is going viral, and now that list is getting a ton of pushback. So let's take a look at the top 4, okay? So according to a Quality Logo Products survey, the most controversial mascot is Florida State University's Osceola and Renegade. Number 2 on the list is San Diego State's Aztec Warrior. Number 3 is the University of Hawaii's Billy the Warrior. And number 4 is Notre Dame's Leprechaun. Yeah. Now Notre Dame has responded about this, telling the Indy Star, quote, "There is no comparison between Notre Dame's nickname and mascot and the Indian and warrior names and mascots used by the institutions." Tori, you always say accountability culture. Is this leprechaun offensive? Is this accountability culture?
When I talk about mascots, I also say we should ask the people who are being marginalized or sort of made fun of, if you believe that. So I would ask the Irish. I would ask the Irish Council. I would talk to elders. I would talk to people in the community. I would ask, is this offensive? I don't know the answer because I'm not Irish, but do I want to see like a Jewish mascot like be sort of mocked and characterized? No, I'll be super honest with you. I went to Washington, D.C. We had the Redskins. I thought that was abhorrent, and so did the Native Americans in that area. So just question the people. Just ask them, does this bother you?
If you're not depicting them in a negative way, if you're almost...
It's a stereotypical way.
How many Irish guys do you know from Chicago have that logo tattooed on them? Because I know a dozen of them.
I'm sure many do, but I'm sure maybe some people don't want to be like, I'm the Irish.
Who? What, 2 people, 5 people?
Maybe I'm wrong, but
the majority of people, I would say 100%, that I know, that I've heard from, don't care about that, right? The Hawaiian mascot, right? That means if you don't like that and you have to replace that mascot, you cancel Maui, my favorite movie, Moana. You have to cancel that, because then now you're saying that's depicted in a negative way. If you're not offending anybody,
I'm just saying ask the culture. So maybe if they don't, ask the Irish Council in wherever Notre Dame is. Ask them specifically.
Here's what I'm getting at. I don't know where a lot of this comes from. A lot of people are up in arms. Who's up in arms? Like, I don't know who made these rules for certain things.
No, this is interesting because there's case study for this. Jersey Shore. When Jersey Shore first came out, I'm being serious. When Jersey Shore first came out, there was this whole contingent of Italians who were like, this is offensive, this is parody on our culture. And then there was another demographic that was like, I love this, I want to emulate this, I'm going to get it tattooed on my arm. So that's our case study, right? Which means that no one agrees.
But you're never going to make everybody happy. You're right. You're never going to make everybody happy.
So go neutral.
What neutral?
Neutral's a kangaroo. Don't do something that's specifically Irish that might
Nobody
be feels
wants to see the kangaroos playing the Bears.
Okay. But kangaroos are gnarly. Have you ever seen? I'm going to show a picture at some point of a jacked up kangaroo.
Right. She is right.
We've shown it on the show.
Oh, we have?
Yes.
It's pretty strong. We'll be right back.
Well, the Bears aren't that great anyway.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Dozens of planes have taken off from Kabul's airport carrying Americans and other evacuees out of Afghanistan. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney claimed in an August 19th Twitter post, liked more than 17,000 times, that President Joe Biden is charging Americans for their flights. Verify viewer Mike asked, is the U.S. government charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan? So, Mike, let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. State Department, the Overseas Security Advisory Council, and the U.S. Code of Laws. On August 7th, the U.S. Embassy in Kabul urged Americans to immediately leave Afghanistan on commercial flights and offered loans to help cover the cost if needed. A week later, the embassy again urged Americans to take commercial flights and warned for the first time that flights chartered by the State Department may cost $2,000 or more per person. Historically, during a crisis, the State Department charges private citizens and third country nationals the cost of a full-fare economy ticket for charter flights it arranges to the U.S. The agency cites a section of U.S. law requiring passengers to reimburse the government. This happened last year when Americans were evacuated from Wuhan, China during the start of the pandemic. However, in this case, a State Department spokesperson tells Verify it isn't asking anyone for reimbursement for return to the U.S., given the situation. And the Secretary of State said the embassy in Kabul also sent out that message.
We even made clear that we would help pay for their repatriation. And we provided multiple communication channels for Americans to contact us if they're in Afghanistan and want help in leaving.
So, it's false that the U.S. government is charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan. Since her post, Congresswoman Tenney has acknowledged Americans leaving Afghanistan aren't being charged and introduced a bill to ensure the flights remain free. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Here's something you don't see every day at a minor league baseball game. Someone paid $5.
$5 million?
$5.
Oh.
To post this fan shout out on the Jumbotron.
I love this.
Fan shout out, like in quotes, because it actually read, Alyssa, this relationship is over. Tim. And over is in all caps. Whoa, is this too harsh?
I'm just saying, this is like an SNL skit, because first it's at a minor league game at a Jumbotron. The guy's named Tim being like, it's over, Alyssa. All of it's a joke, but it's pretty petty, and I bet Alyssa heard him.
I wonder if it's your dude, Timmy Nipple.
Tommy Nipples.
Tommy's offended by that comment, just so you know.
If you're leaving us, a little inside baseball, if you will. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A major theft on the set of Mission Impossible 7. Find out how Tom Cruise became a target in the crime. And Dancing with the Stars is set to have a history-making season. The big change you'll see with one of the couples this year.
Could drones play a part in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's connect the dots. Atrium Health has been working with UPS for a long time to perfect this technology. Now they can use a drone to deliver vaccines 25 doses at a time from the main hospital to nearby practices and pharmacies. And this is not your normal delivery drone. It's climate controlled. Remember, the COVID vaccine has to be stored in incredibly cold temperatures, so the drone is packed with special gel to keep them cool. But is drone delivery actually that helpful for delivering vaccines? Researchers say yes in certain situations. Drones could help transport vaccines to places that are hard to reach by delivery truck. In fact, the technology is already widely being used by Pfizer to ship vaccines in Ghana. And here in the U.S., drones could help lighten the load for delivery drivers. Saving a few trips with this technology could go a long way. as companies face staffing shortages and a growing mountain of online deliveries. Still, it could be a while before we see drones take over the vaccine rollout. Right now, Atrium is only operating one drone within a mile radius in Winston-Salem. But the technology is looking promising for fighting disease in the future. And that is connecting the dots.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam, here with my friends Erica, Jeff, and Tori. Let's get started. All right, so YouTube star Jojo Siwa is making history. She, along with Olympian Suni Lee, were the first 2 contestants named for the new season of Dancing with the Stars. Jojo, who appeared on the reality show Dance Moms, came out as pansexual earlier this year and is currently dating a woman. She will be the first contestant to be paired with a same-sex partner. Jojo spoke about it on GMA this morning. Watch.
When I got asked to do Dancing with the Stars, they actually asked me, do you want to be with a boy or with a girl? And immediately, there was not even a question. I knew to make it right for the people who come after me that dancing with a girl was the exact thing that I wanted to do.
I love her. What did you think?
Does everybody have the same question?
What?
Who's going to lead?
Oh, I don't.
You didn't have this question?
No.
You didn't think this?
No.
I've been to a
lesbian wedding. Why would I think
the
that?
The professional dancer leads.
That's not true.
Oh, I always thought it was the professional.
Well, usually what he's saying is that the male leads.
Yeah, I know, but in Dancing with the
definitely.
Stars, it's always the professional that leads.
I don't think that's true.
That's your big question?
Who's going to lead in the same-sex dance partnership?
I think this is such a bizarre. We are going to battle this question out. This is such a bizarre question.
That's the first thing I thought about.
No, because you're talking about the role, which you're saying lead. That's a role. It's not gender specific.
Sure it is.
No. Have you ever been to a wedding when 2 women were getting married? No one's like, oh God, we can't dance until we find some man to sub in for us.
But that's not like just dancing. This is competitive ballroom dancing, and traditionally the man leads and the women follows.
Yes,
right?
in heteronormative society. However, as
no, in normal, yeah.
No, in heteronormative society.
Yeah, I know that's the same thing. But you threw that big word.
I'm just
I was like,
throwing it out there.
Yes.
But as Steph brought up the fact that when there are less guys or less little boys when they're first training, when they're younger, it's very common for 2 women or 2 young girls to switch off on who's leading.
But someone is the lead.
Right, and it's a female. And in this situation, JoJo's also a dancer, so they can probably switch off anyway.
Like my
But
best
the
friend
question still remains, who will lead?
My best friend Jackie got married to her wife, okay? And they classically ballroom danced at their wedding. And I think Jackie was a lead because they picked it and they rehearsed it and they did it. It didn't have to be a male. It just usually is in the world we see.
Well, again, the question is,
oh my God.
who will lead?
They'll probably
they'll pick. Yeah, they'll pick someone.
That's my question. It's not homophobic.
No,
it's not
I'm
anything
not
like
saying
that.
that.
But people already have their guns out and they're ready to tie. Listen, it's a legit, fair question.
Yes.
Who will lead in traditional ballroom dancing? The male leads. There is no
and we're
male
answering
in
you.
this.
And we're answering you.
Well,
they pick one of the women.
We'll have to watch to find out. I just want to say, as a fan of JoJo's, I am just so excited because JoJo's 18 years old and she has a lot of young fans.
Huge
and there's
amount.
a lot of young fans out there that may be watching Dancing with the Stars with their parents, and they get to see some representation for once. And I know that when JoJo came out, by the way, there was a lot of parents that were ticked off. A lot of parents celebrated her, but a lot of parents thought that this was immoral of her, and I say that in quotes. So I'm really happy that because she is just an absolute gem. I mean, she's not only an entrepreneur, but she's talented.
She's a great role model.
Yeah, she has have you seen her line in Target? If you walk into Target in the kids section, it's all Jojo. T-shirts and hair ties and purses, and so I'm just really happy.
I'm still thinking about if the woman always leads on Dancing with the Stars, and I don't think that's true. I think the male leads.
Oh,
we should look it up.
Yeah,
because you thought the star always leads.
I always thought the professional dancer always leads.
You're right. So I don't think that's true. I think the male always leads.
Okay,
but I'd like to be corrected.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
I think Michael Dean is looking into it, or Karen is. Okay, so
and then Tori can mime it out for us.
Oh my gosh. That was a terrible mime.
What are you talking about? It looked like I was actually in a box.
No, you're supposed to actually press and press and press. Like Tori. That was good, Tori.
Thanks.
I had a bad angle too.
Okay. More drama on the set of Mission Impossible 7. Tom Cruise reportedly had thousands of dollars worth of luggage stolen after thieves made off with his bodyguard's BMW that was parked outside a hotel in England. Tom was filming scenes for the movie at the time. According to the Daily Mail, the car, which is similar to this one, was recovered soon after it was stolen because it was fitted with a tracking device, but everything inside was gone. And this is just the latest mishap, Erica. Let me just kind of give you a little rundown. So we knew that it had been shut down twice because of COVID, right? We also know that we saw Tom on that same set have that rant because of COVID, but that went viral. And then on the last Mission Impossible in 2018 is when he broke his ankle. So are these Mission Impossible films cursed? I mean, it seems like a lot of drama.
It does seem like a lot of drama, but I'm sure it's worth it once it hits the box office, and that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah, if it's easy, everybody does it, right? I think you have to go through more obstacles to get a higher level of success, and that's what Mission Impossible is doing.
It's not Mission Possible, is it? It's Mission Impossible, and that's what he's doing. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying that this does seem like a cursed set. If you're someone who's I'm a theater girl, and there's a lot of, what do you call it?
I'm letting you sit there.
No, what do you call it when you're
superstitious?
Superstitious, thinking you wear certain things, you can't say certain things. This to me feels very much like someone did something and this set is cursed.
Really?
Yeah, there's too many over and over again. Nothing is flowing, nothing is going, and in that creativity.
He better not.
He better not, but I think they got to sage the place. Something's cursed that.
You don't think after 7 movies something might happen to go wrong?
Dude, it's been like 10 in a row, as she said.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm so happy it's Friday.
I'm just going to keep zinging Tori.
Weddings are not cheap, but would you send a no-show guest an invoice? So a man recently posted this invoice for $240 that he was sent by a bride and groom. It stated that the guest confirmed their attendance to their destination wedding in Jamaica, but because they never canceled, they are now being billed the $120 each, which is what the couple paid the resort in advance. Erica, you're shaking your head. Tell me, girl.
Yes, absolutely. We need to normalize guest manners, period.
Ooh.
I don't know where y'all people were raised, but if somebody is throwing a party, throwing an event, and wants to host you as their guest, show a little bit of respect to just be like, hey, listen, I can't be there in time. Don't say you're going to be there. That's the worst thing. Saying you're going to be there and not showing up after they actually paid per head, which a lot of parties and weddings are, is super rude. I almost expect for people to be like, hey, I'm sorry, last minute I can come, so I could be like, good, because Knucklehead over here decided to call me 30 seconds before the party and say that he can't show up, which means I have extra food, which I paid for, so why don't you, you bring your friend and your grandmama too.
All right, I'm on the other side.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, so here's my take. You probably would have got paid more in cash if I showed up to that wedding. Me not coming, I'm going to feel worse. I'd probably put a little bit more in there and give you that. You, as a close friend who's going to send me a bill, as Sonny said in the Bronx Tale, for $240, you are now out of my life forever. You send me a bill, I will never contact you ever again. I will pay that bill and say, have a nice life, and you will never be invited to anything ever I have again.
That's true, but the issue is the couple has already told you that they don't want you in their life anymore by sending you a $240 bill, because they're saying you do not respect. This is a time where the village comes together in order to uplift and elevate the couple. You're bringing them down, which means that you are likely gone.
We're going through a pandemic. You can't
But don't
easily
say you're
travel.
going to come.
They didn't RSVP correctly.
It's one thing to be like, and things happen. So it's one
And
thing to be like,
kids,
oh my gosh,
children, right.
something happened. We didn't have enough money, and my husband lost his job. Whatever it is, but clearly they just no call, no show.
Yeah,
it was a complete no-show.
That's a ghosting. I kind of agree with Eric on this one.
Me too.
Although I would
What
be
a
really.
surprise.
Oh, excuse me. I would be offended though if I got a bill.
I don't think they cared. They wanted to offend you. They did it for a reason. I'm with Eric.
That's a statement in itself.
Yeah, they felt completely ghosted and disrespected from two of what they thought was their best friends. So they were like, screw them. And that was their way of being like, you owe us. But I don't really think they were chasing the money. I think they were trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, coming up on DBL. A lie that led to a man's 27-year prison sentence. How he's turning his life around after being wrongfully convicted of murder. That is coming up next in Freedom Files.
Closed captioning provided by Okay.
You do.
A lot of people writing in about the Chief Osceola. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Osceola, excuse me. Marcy Ann says, I went to FSU, that's Florida State University. There's a strong relationship between the Seminole tribe, which is in Florida, in favor of FSU using that mascot because they work with FSU on programs to do it the right way and educate. And that's what I mean by asking the community. If they appreciate it, I don't have a problem with them using it. If the people like at the Washington, D.C. Redskins were like, this is a terrible slur, change it. It's not hard to just ask the marginalized group of people, hey, does this bother you? If it doesn't, cool.
But here's my problem you're right about the Redskins. Here's my problem with that. People who aren't Irish, let's just use Irish as a term to stay safe here. People who aren't Irish are just getting involved. And they're not even asking Irish people. It's people on the internet who aren't Irish, and they're saying, this is offensive.
I see.
You're not even Irish.
Ask
Who
the
is it
Irish,
offending?
yeah, right.
You're right. Ask the Irish
Ask
community.
the Irish
but people
council.
on social media are getting involved that shouldn't even be involved, nor should their opinion count or matter.
right.
And that's who now everything is under a microscope. And it's like, it's not even offending you. You have nothing. Absolutely. It has nothing to do with you. You should ask the Irish community
Right, that's what I
about
said.
that.
And also, if it does help the community and you educate and learn about the Seminoles, maybe that should be the mascot. And I'm not saying that in case someone is saying that is offensive, but perhaps that's good. Now, my mascot was the Grasshopper. What was yours?
Seems very fitting.
It is. I went to a hippie school.
Where?
In D.C.
No, I'm saying what level?
All of it. I went to
High
pre-K
school,
to high school, the
college?
whole thing.
You were Grasshopper the whole time?
I was a Grasshopper for 14 years.
Hey, do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Okay, Grasshopper walks in a bar, and the bartender says, hey, we got a drink named after you. And the Grasshopper goes, you're kidding. You got a drink named Ted?
That's kind of funny. Because there's a drink called the Grasshopper.
Welcome back to DBL. Imagine going to prison for killing your best friend, but you never pulled the trigger. That happened to Earl Truvia. We spoke with him earlier in today's Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted.
It's Halloween night, 1975. 15-year-old Elliot Porter never makes it home.
He was a close friend of mine, and I know his family.
As police tape off the scene, a crowd gathers. 17-year-old Earl Truvia notices his friend's lifeless body.
And that moved me to go notify his mom. And when I went and knocked on the door, she came to the door and I told her that was her son that they found under the building.
A couple days later, a neighbor calls police with a very detailed story to tell.
She said me and my co-defendant and the victim passed in front of her window while she was on the third floor smoking a cigarette. Get out of her eyesight, and she heard 2 shots.
Earl is arrested and charged with second-degree murder.
within the 90 days I'm in jail, I write his mom a letter expressing my condolences, and at the end of the letter, I'm telling her I'm an innocent man.
The DA assures Elliot's mom they have the right man, their case resting solely on the neighbor's testimony. Not only does the witness say she saw Earl with the victim, but she tells a tale so horrific, Earl's legal team is left speechless.
She said that we broke in her apartment and projected threats for her not to go to the police. And she stated that I had put a pistol to her 18-year-old baby head.
After just 14 minutes of deliberations, Earl is found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. At just 18 years old, Earl enters Louisiana State Penitentiary, also known as Angola.
Kill or get killed. And I had to go there with that demeanor.
The teen embraces the prison culture to survive.
I got caught up in the drug game in prison. I had the deputies bringing me drugs.
There's just one thing that stops him from being fully consumed by the darkness.
That was my fight to prove my innocence, no matter how dark it was. But I had just that much light to believe in.
After 25 years in prison, the Innocence Project gets involved in Earl's case. They find secrets about the state's star witness that were never disclosed at Earl's original trial.
Then she was a drug addict, paranoid schizophrenic. She had a criminal history. She stayed in trouble with the law.
His lawyers also discover that the line of sight the witness said she had is in fact blocked by a balcony. The state grants him a new trial.
I told my attorneys I would die in Angola before I plead guilty to make the government right over me. 30 days later, they dismissed the charge.
After 27 years in prison, Earl is a free man.
Earl, welcome to DBL. Okay, so you've said the one thing that haunts you the most is the why. You want to know why the witness lied, but you actually ran into her after your release. So tell us what happened when you saw her.
I sit right next to her, and I'd say Sheila Robinson. I just called her name out the blue, and she looked at me. And she asked me who I were. I said Earl Truvia. And she dropped with her mouth open, and she jumped up and went in the car with me, and I went behind her. And she started crying, and I embraced her, and I told her it's all right. She brought me before the congregation of the church and told her pastor, this guy did 27 years for a testimony that I gave. He was wrongfully convicted.
Oh my God.
Wow. Earl, you say that the second lie has hurt you even more since you've become a grandfather. Tell us why that is.
Well, at the time, I have a grandchild that's right at 18 months, and her testimony was so devastating after I really learned the collateral damage of it. And when I see my grandson, he loved me dearly. And even all around the world, when I see babies and kids at that moment, it triggered in my head what really the jury had pounded upon, and it took them only 14 minutes to get a guilty verdict. And that was her last testimony that stuck out in their head. An 18-year-old kid being threatened with an overgrown man as myself then at that time, putting a gun to a baby head, and that was my best friend that got killed. Wow. And so I was charged for killing my best friend.
Oh my God.
Earl, I can't imagine the trauma that you have gone through. What a story. And you also said that you learned quickly it was kill or get killed, right, while in prison. How did you show strength?
Yes.
And how did you survive while in prison?
It's just like when you're in Rome, you live like the Rome. So I knew at my age, I had to defend myself because of the male institution that, I used to hear stories about prison, and now I'm in a situation wrongfully. So I have a double burden I have to protect, as well as being a black man, and the way the prison is designed, that's what it was, only the strong survive. And to test my strength, I had to live just like a gladiator. And I had couple of altercations. I had to, defend myself and resorted to additional charges. But at that early stage, I was still having a psychological impact upon me. I'm here, and anything that rubbed me wrong, I had to defend to the best of my ability. I thank God I had my faith in a prayer life and to keep my strength and my sanity, and that basically contained me having a prayer life and trusting God through it all.
All right. Well, Earl, thank you for sharing your story and for the transparency. Wow. We'll be right back.
We all know that.
With another round of COVID shots underway for some, many of you wanted to know if you can switch things up. So we went to the CDC and Novant Health infectious disease specialist, Dr. David Priest, to find out. Viewer Ron S. asked us if those getting an additional dose had to get the same brand as the first time. First, we'll remind you, the extra doses available are only Pfizer and Moderna right now, and they're only for people who originally got Pfizer and Moderna.
Try to stick with the brand of vaccine you got for the first 2 doses, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
The CDC says if you don't know or don't have the original mRNA brand, you can get either mRNA vaccine. So we can verify you don't have to get the same brand for your 3rd dose, but mixing it up is really a last resort. Now, what about Johnson & Johnson? Viewer Lisa B. asked if someone could switch from Johnson & Johnson to another brand for their additional dose.
I think roughly 900,000 people in the country who got Johnson & Johnson have already got an mRNA booster. So I think that's already happening, but there's no official guidance on that yet.
So clearly some people are skirting around official guidance here. But right now, the CDC says it still needs more info here on how safe and effective it is to mix J&J with an mRNA shot. So we can verify, by the official guidance, you can't get Johnson & Johnson and then a different brand. But that guidance could change when more research comes out.
Welcome back to DBL. Have you heard that just 4 seconds, just 4, of exercise can change your life? We're chatting about it today on today's DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. New research shows that 4 seconds of high-intensity exercise repeated 2 or 3 times or 3 dozen times is all most people need to build muscle and maintain their fitness levels. The trick is making each 4-second burst as grueling as possible. So you want to work your body as hard as you can for those 4 seconds, but not to the point where you can't finish each 4-second workout. People who exercise like this were found to burn fat much faster the next day. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I can do this. Thank goodness. I can do this.
When I read it today, I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, done.
But no, you got to give it all, your all.
Yeah.
That means full intensity. Your knees got to be high. Your elbows got to be swinging. You got to full intensify.
You're scaring me.
And
no.
what you did was like 1 second. Do that 4 seconds and then do it 3 dozen times.
Yeah.
I bet you're going to get a
Look
little
at
winded.
Erica's face. Are your eyes watering? What's happening?
I think she used to cough, I think.
She used to cough?
No, I'm fine, y'all.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Dozens of planes have taken off from Kabul's airport carrying Americans and other evacuees out of Afghanistan. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney claimed in an August 19th Twitter post, liked more than 17,000 times, that President Joe Biden is charging Americans for their flights. Verify viewer Mike asked, Is the U.S. government charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan? So, Mike, let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. State Department, the Overseas Security Advisory Council, and the U.S. Code of Laws. On August 7th, the U.S. Embassy in Kabul urged Americans to immediately leave Afghanistan on commercial flights and offered loans to help cover the cost if needed. A week later, the embassy again urged Americans to take commercial flights and warned for the first time that flights chartered by the State Department may cost $2,000 or more per person. Historically, during a crisis, the State Department charges private citizens and third country nationals the cost of a full-fare economy ticket for charter flights it arranges to the U.S. The agency cites a section of U.S. law requiring passengers to reimburse the government. This happened last year when Americans were evacuated from Wuhan, China during the start of the pandemic. However, in this case, a State Department spokesperson tells Verify it isn't asking anyone for reimbursement for return to the U.S., given the situation. And the Secretary of State said the embassy in Kabul also sent out that message.
We even made clear that we would help pay for their repatriation. And we provided multiple communication channels for Americans to contact us if they're in Afghanistan and want help in leaving.
So, it's false that the U.S. government is charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan. Since her post, Congresswoman Tenney has acknowledged Americans leaving Afghanistan aren't being charged and introduced a bill to ensure the flights remain free. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we got, Tori?
All right, this is with Jojo Siwa, Dancing with the Stars. Carol C. agrees with Jeff. I don't think Jeff means a man needs to lead, maybe, but how will they choose who will lead? I had the same question. Mary Bennett says, Jeff, the two dancers will make that decision. Doesn't matter if they're both female. We actually got info from the booth. Jojo has been on an interview quoted as saying, I'd love it if we switched on and off with the lead.
Again, a fair question. You're absolutely right. It doesn't matter who leads, but it's a fair question. If it's male, who leads? If it's female, who leads? What? That's the only question. Because I know, listen, read the comments that really what's going on, and I'm sure if they're a lot worse than
I think you spoke for a lot of people that were confused, and I think we also had that conversation for a lot of people to be enlightened by it.
I feel enlightened.
Would you?
Why is everyone being weird?
I don't know.
Sorry, I was listening to the producers. Would you ever let a female lead you if you were dancing?
Sure. I don't know how to dance anyway, so that's how they teach me.
Right? You don't know how to dance? I don't believe that.
Do you know how to ballroom dance?
No, but I feel like you do.
He said he does.
Okay, I was lying.
I bet Jeff does. He does you every day. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place.
Tori's so mad that you think that.
No, I don't. I'm fine.
Why do you think that Jeff knows how to dance?
Could drones play a part in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's connect the dots. Atrium Health has been working with UPS for a long time to perfect this technology. Now they can use a drone to deliver vaccines 25 doses at a time from the main hospital to nearby practices and pharmacies. And this is not your normal delivery drone. It's climate controlled. Remember, the COVID vaccine has to be stored in incredibly cold temperatures, so the drone is packed with special gel to keep them cool. But is drone delivery actually that helpful for delivering vaccines? Researchers say yes in certain situations. Drones could help transport vaccines to places that are hard to reach by delivery truck. In fact, the technology is already widely being used by Pfizer to ship vaccines in Ghana. And here in the U.S., drones could help lighten the load for delivery drivers. Saving a few trips with this technology could go a long way, as companies face staffing shortages and a growing mountain of online deliveries. Still, it could be a while before we see drones take over the vaccine rollout. Right now, Atrium is only operating one drone within a mile radius in Winston-Salem. The technology is looking promising for fighting disease in the future. And that is connecting the dots.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Kanye's controversial listening party with canceled stars Marilyn Manson and DaBaby. And is that actually Kim in a wedding dress? Beyonce gets slammed for her photo shoot with Tiffanys. Why the diamond she wore is causing so much controversy. A list of the most offensive mascots is making a lot of people mad. Is Notre Dame's leprechaun really insulting to the Irish? And in today's Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted. A witness lies on the stand, putting an innocent 18-year-old in prison for murder. How did he get out 27 years later?
That was my fight to prove my innocence.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Friday, August 27th. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. Let's get started. But first, we do want to acknowledge that there are a lot of very heavy things going on in Afghanistan and other places around the world today. And our thoughts and our prayers are with you. We are going to turn to some lighter things. So up first, a lot of you have been writing in about this story all morning long. So let's talk about it. Kanye West held a third listening party for his new album, Donda, at Soldier Field in Chicago last night. Now, the show included a reconstruction of his childhood home. And at one point, Kanye appeared to set himself on fire. But everyone, including our viewers, are talking about this moment when someone who appears to be Kim Kardashian coming out in a Balenciaga wedding dress. Some are reporting that it's definitely Kim, others not so sure. Fan video posted on Twitter also showed Kanye holding hands with the maybe Kim as they were leaving the show. So what do you all think about this? I know that you just said the other day you're a huge Kanye fan and that he intrigues you.
Definitely. So let's just take this beat because we have another beat following this. The artistry of it all. Whether that's Kim or Kanye, or whether it's Kim Kardashian or not, it's just a symbolism of that is Kim, right? I just love that. I love that where he came from, he gets to put his home and recreate it in that stadium and perform. And Kanye's always walking that line, right? Always walking that line. Is it controversial? Is it artistry? What is it? That's what I see when I see Kanye. So just speaking clearly on the artistry point of it, I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
I thought it was really interesting just the amount of recreations he did. He recreated the exact house. He recreated the wedding. He recreated the feeling of being isolated. So for someone who went through trauma, which he has and has a mental illness that he speaks openly about, recreating can be very helpful, can be very cathartic. And he did it in front of a lot of people. And maybe that's his way of healing. As an art history person, this is such an interesting performance art piece with mixed media and pop culture references. It's really an interesting piece. I like it.
What do you think, Erica? Especially as a Chicagoan, is that what do I say? A
Chicagoan. I'm with Jeff on that aspect of I don't think it matters if it was truly Kim physically or not. I think we all understand that it represents Kim.
And if it is Kim, more power to them. You know, we don't often give credit to the Kardashians, but this is a couple what looks like are really doing it right for their children, right? Whether or not that they're married anymore, they are supporting each other's careers. So if this is Kim, it seems like that is an example that I think a lot of people who go through divorce, which is a lot of our viewers who have written in, that's something that you do want to emulate.
I'm going to tell you why it's not. In a second.
You don't think it is Kim?
Let's hit this next beat.
All right. So Kanye, let's hit this next beat.
Yo, producer, roll it.
So Kanye also had some very controversial guests appear at the show. So at one point, he was joined on stage by Marilyn Manson and rapper DaBaby, who have both been in the news for some very controversial things. So if you didn't know, DaBaby recently made some very homophobic comments, and Marilyn Manson has been sued by multiple women for sexual assault.
So what? Kanye couldn't get R. Kelly out on a conditional release? He was right up the street. Why stop here?
Chicagoan, yes.
Why stop here? I mean, obviously, we're talking about cancel culture, and he's using it as a form of art to evoke conversation. But I really do not understand what the conversation is in this capacity.
All right, so now let's jump. I'll touch on both, but this is why I don't think it's Kim Kardashian, because he brought them on stage. Again, I don't think she wants her name tied up in all that controversy.
That's a very good point.
And that's not mine. That's Stephanie Jones. I have to give that to her. We came to that conclusion earlier. But it makes sense if it's not.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be performing on stage
very particular
with
about
these
that.
very controversial people, which I know Kanye's getting flack for. And that's where people draw that line. I know we disagree on Kanye. He walks that line. Does he step over? Is this too far? In my mind, he might have stepped over the line, bringing them on stage. I understand, though, what it represents. It represents that cancel culture, and can they not have a comeback? But is this the time? Is this the place? Should he have done that? That's what we're talking about.
And I agree with you, but he diluted the message by bringing on a sexual assault person that's been under the spotlight on that. Had he done someone that was unfairly canceled, allegedly, excuse me, like Aziz Ansari or someone even that we don't, the Marilyn Manson to me ruined the whole take, because now you're diluting it by putting what I think is an alleged criminal up there and saying he shouldn't be canceled. He should be canceled. That's accountability. To me, he missed the mark on that one.
Oof. All right. So from one artist to another, Beyonce is finding herself between a rock and a hard place. She and Jay-Z recently appeared in this Tiffanys ad. I'm sure you guys saw it all over Instagram. And Beyonce is wearing this gigantic diamond that's more than 128 carats. She's only the fourth woman and first black woman to wear it. Lady Gaga wore it to the Oscars, and Audrey Hepburn wore it in Breakfast at Tiffany's. But some are saying it is a blood diamond, and that it was found in a mine where African laborers were forced to work in horrendous conditions for minimal pay, and many of them died. So Beyonce reportedly did not know, and in a statement to The Sun, a spokesperson said, quote, Beyonce is disappointed and angry that she wasn't made aware of questions about the stone's history. What do you think of people criticizing Beyonce?
I think that when we're having this accountability culture conversation and we say it's not cancel, it's accountability, then you have Beyonce taking accountability in the bravest way possible. Because the truth is, by her being vulnerable enough to be honest and say, I did not know the history, she's also putting herself in a very vulnerable place, because people are looking at her and saying, well, you should have known the history. A lot of people who are saying that also didn't know the history. So by her being honest and saying, I'm taking accountability for the fact that this was not vetted and I should have known better, is bringing a lot of people up to speed on this very tragic origin of this diamond. But it's also promoting conversation. So if we truly are talking about accountability culture, this is how it's done, because this conversation would not have been had otherwise.
Before you chime in, I wanted, to Erica's point, Tina Knowles wrote this to a lot of the social media comments. She wrote, how many of you socially conscious activists own diamonds? I thought so. Well, guess what? Did you go try to check and see where the diamond came from? Probably not. So a lot of people are so quick, Tori, to Erica's point, to condemn her, but do they know the origins of their very own diamonds?
Or anything else that they have? Your iPhone, your soda you're drinking. You had brought up other bottling
Just
companies.
any product.
Anything
that you wear, anything that you consume.
How far have you gone back to research that? And I will also say this, which I find really interesting, is that when it comes to Beyonce wearing that and saying, I don't know, my father, who I think is the smartest person alive, always said the 3 smartest words are, I don't know. Being brave enough to say that, you don't get yourself in trouble with a cover-up, with trying to do all this. You hold yourself accountable. You say you don't know, and you don't speak on facts you don't know. So I so appreciated her saying it. Do I think her reps should have vetted better? Yeah. I think her team didn't do her service. I'll say that.
Did anybody rep when this was worn breakfast at Tiffanys, or when it was worn a couple years ago at the Oscars? Nobody said one word.
We looked into that. We didn't see any comments.
This is an interesting conversation. The reason why is because Lady Gaga and Audrey Hepburn aren't black.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I mean, that's the reason. Beyonce can make no small mistakes, period, especially when it comes to issues that affect black and African descendants.
Right.
So, yes, she is being held to a higher standard. Is that fair? That's a really good question. Is it fair for Beyonce to be held to a higher standard than anyone else?
No.
Is it fair? I just want to throw that out there.
No.
Why is the black woman, and I understand because she is seen to have more of a responsibility, but I think we could take this conversation and apply it anywhere. Is it fair?
And no is the answer. I want to follow that up, and that's a fair question, and no is the answer. To me, it represented, they are maybe the most powerful couple on the planet, right? This diamond is the most powerful rock or stone of its kind on the planet. Together, they are powerful. People read into it. Now they're holding people to different accountabilities and things like that. Before I know we have to run, but Beyonce, I'm proud of her for taking accountability. I didn't know where it came from, but why am I being judged when this is only the fourth person to wear it? Nobody was held accountable in the past, but now I am.
Right. And at least we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. All right, so coming up on DBL, it's a first ever for Dancing with the Stars, the history-making moment you'll see this season. Plus, the most offensive mascots. Does the leprechaun from the Fighting Irish really belong on that list? And it's our Dr. Coley. There she is here in studio. She's going to debunk COVID myths coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by...
Okay, what's up, you guys? So, I'm gonna read some of your comments. Hi, Doc. She takes my seat because she's better than me. Okay, so a lot of people write in, right on, Erica, right on, Erica. I specifically want you guys to, sorry, I'm trying to get out of people's way. Is it fair that Lady Gaga, if you didn't know the whole story, she wore that diamond to the Academy Awards, and not like a long time ago, for her, for her Star Is Born, in the shallow, Tiffany, do you want to sing? She doesn't know the song. So she wore it, so like a couple of years ago, no one said a peep. We searched for articles, no one brought it up. The second Beyonce wears it for Tiffanys, everyone's talking about how it's a blood diamond. Why the two differences? Erica doesn't, we don't cower around it. It's because one's black and one's white. So we call it out like we do here at Daily Blast Live. Is it fair is what Erica had to say. I'd love to hear your opinions from all over the country. That's what you guys are here for. So write in, especially on the YouTube comment page or Twitter, and we'll try and get you on the show. Thanks, guys.
DBL is your daytime destination.
I get very excited.
I was excited with you.
Okay, thank you.
We are fired up.
I am feeling very disagreeable.
Educate yourself. Though I got to push back because sometimes...
No, I won't accept that.
Check that.
And having fun.
You have 2 straws and a strawberry shake.
I felt it in my heart and in my soul.
What's Jeff thinking?
I don't want to get canceled.
DBL's all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. So today we've got to debunk something pretty serious. People are taking medicine intended for cattle to treat COVID, and it is hurting them. Our very own Dr. Payal Kohli joining us live to dive into this and give us the facts. So Dr. Kohli, we know that one doctor is under investigation for prescribing a drug used to treat cattle. Are there also, and there are also reports of a drug used for deworming livestock that are flying off shelves in Texas. Break it down why these drugs are dangerous and why they are for animals and not for humans.
You guys just think about it. The drug was designed for a 1,000-pound animal, and you're giving it to a human. So you're very susceptible to getting an overdose of this drug. This is called ivermectin. Now, there are human preparations of ivermectin as well, but they're used for things like lice or scabies. There is absolutely no data that they're used for antiviral purposes to fight a viral infection like COVID-19. So if you go and take this drug, and 70% of the people that are taking this are taking it in the animal doses, get an overdose, you could end up with seizures, coma, and even death.
Oh my gosh.
So why are people taking this drug then? Like, is there examples out there?
Yeah, so here's why people are taking it: because of social media. This demonstrates to us the power of social media, good or bad. So today, if I started a tweet that said, if you jump up and down 25 times, you're not going to get COVID, and it started going viral and everybody started talking about it, people would believe it. So this is really a prime example of misinformation. There was some preliminary science that it may be beneficial in COVID, but there's been absolutely nothing to show that it has any therapeutic benefit.
Well, something else that's really raising eyebrows is this new study that's showing that people who have had COVID and recover actually have stronger immunity than people who have just been vaccinated. So is this going to add more fuel to the fire, and is this true?
The first question, absolutely. We have to take a grain of salt with the study because the study is an observational study with confounding. So let me explain that to you. So Erica, if you got the vaccine, and Sam, let's say you didn't, I know you both did, but if you didn't, so that was the one difference between you. But let's say your behaviors are also different. So you got the vaccine, but you're not wearing your mask anywhere. You didn't get the vaccine, so you're actually having to wear your mask everywhere. That's called confounding. So something else is leading to the difference that people are confusing and thinking is a result of the intervention of the vaccine.
So there's too many variables in this equation.
That's exactly right. And they acknowledge that they didn't control for all those variables like social distancing, mask wearing behavior, which are critical to our risk of infection. But I will say there are differences, you guys, between natural immunity and vaccine immunity. So when you get the vaccine, you only see the spike protein, right, of the virus. You're not getting the rest of it. When you get the natural infection, your body makes antibodies to the entire virus, all different parts of it.
But does it ever diminish?
Yes, and in fact, the data tells us that it can diminish faster if your initial infection was not as severe. So if you're one of those lucky people who only got a cold, maybe your immune system never really got that revved up, so it never really made that many antibodies, and so they go away faster. What we're seeing with the vaccines is that the immunity is longer lasting, and it's more durable, and it's more predictable. Now, the best kind of immunity, if you had the COVID-19 infection and then got vaccinated, some scientists are saying that may be lifelong immunity because you got your infection and your booster.
I'm so angry that there's so much misinformation out there. I'm so angry that we don't get someone like you to, to dispel all and debunk all this misinformation. I know we can do it on our show, but I wish it was worldwide. So Dr. Kohli, now we want to get your take on something not COVID related, okay? So an Oxford professor is saying blood pressure pills should be given to everyone over the age of 50, even if they don't have symptoms. So our question is it safe to take a drug that you don't really need? And could these drugs lead to other symptoms, problems, side effects?
So, you know what this study showed you guys is that if your blood pressure is lowered, you have less likelihood of having a heart attack or stroke. Now think about it. Blood pressure is the pressure inside your arteries. It makes your arteries sticky so that the cholesterol can go and stick. So if you have less blood pressure, the heart's doing less work, the arteries have less damage to them, they're just happier. So the idea here is even if you don't have symptoms from your high blood pressure, you need to get it treated. Now if you have no symptoms and normal blood pressure, this study doesn't apply to you.
Are we just like so lucky that we have her? We really are. Thank you so much, Dr. Kohli. Coming up on DBL, the Notre Dame leprechaun lands on the list of most offensive mascots. Do you agree, or is this yet another example of cancel culture going too far?
another round of COVID shots underway for some, many of you wanted to know if you can switch things up. So we went to the CDC and Novant Health infectious disease specialist, Dr. David Priest, to find out. Viewer Ron S. asked us if those getting an additional dose had to get the same brand as the first time. First, we'll remind you, the extra doses available are only Pfizer and Moderna right now, and they're only for people who originally got Pfizer and Moderna.
Try to stick with the brand of vaccine you got for the first 2 doses, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
The CDC says if you don't know or don't have the original mRNA brand, you can get either mRNA vaccine. So we can verify you don't have to get the same brand for your 3rd dose, but mixing it up is really a last resort. Now, what about Johnson & Johnson? Viewer Lisa B. asked if someone could switch from Johnson & Johnson to another brand for their additional dose.
I think roughly 900,000 people in the country who got Johnson & Johnson have already got an mRNA booster. So I think that's already happening, but there's no official guidance on that yet.
So clearly some people are skirting around official guidance here. But right now, the CDC says it still needs more info here on how safe and effective it is to mix J&J with an mRNA shot. So we can verify, by the official guidance, you can't get Johnson & Johnson and then a different brand. But that guidance could change when more research comes out.
Welcome back to DBL. There's a list of the most controversial college mascots that is going viral, and now that list is getting a ton of pushback. So let's take a look at the top 4, okay? So according to a Quality Logo Products survey, the most controversial mascot is Florida State University's Osceola and Renegade. Number 2 on the list is San Diego State's Aztec Warrior. Number 3 is the University of Hawaii's Billy the Warrior. And number 4 is Notre Dame's Leprechaun. Yeah. Now Notre Dame has responded about this, telling the Indy Star, quote, "There is no comparison between Notre Dame's nickname and mascot and the Indian and warrior names and mascots used by the institutions." Tori, you always say accountability culture. Is this Leprechaun offensive? Is this accountability culture?
When I talk about mascots, I also say we should ask the people who are being marginalized or sort of made fun of, if you believe that. So I would ask the Irish. I would ask the Irish Council. I would talk to elders. I would talk to people in the community. I would ask, is this offensive? I don't know the answer because I'm not Irish, but do I want to see like a Jewish mascot like be sort of mocked and characterized? No, I'll be super honest with you. I went to Washington, D.C. We had the Redskins. I thought that was abhorrent, and so did the Native Americans in that area. So just question the people. Just ask them, does this bother you?
If you're not depicting them in a negative way, if you're almost...
It's a stereotypical way.
How many Irish guys do you know from Chicago have that logo tattooed on them? Because I know a dozen of them.
I'm sure many do, but I'm sure maybe some people don't want to be like, I'm the Irish.
Who? What, 2 people, 5 people?
Maybe I'm wrong, but
the majority of people, I would say 100%, that I know, that I've heard from, don't care about that, right? The Hawaiian mascot, right? That means if you don't like that and you have to replace that mascot, you cancel Maui, my favorite movie, Moana. You have to cancel that, because then now you're saying that's depicted in a negative way. If you're not offending anybody,
I'm just saying ask the culture. So maybe if they don't, ask the Irish Council in wherever Notre Dame is. Ask them specifically.
Here's what I'm getting at. I don't know where a lot of this comes from. A lot of people are up in arms. Who's up in arms? Like, I don't know who made these rules for certain things.
No, this is interesting because there's case study for this. Jersey Shore. When Jersey Shore first came out, I'm being serious. When Jersey Shore first came out, there was this whole contingent of Italians who were like, this is offensive, this is parody on our culture. And then there was another demographic that was like, I love this, I want to emulate this, I'm going to get it tattooed on my arm. So that's our case study, right? Which means that no one agrees.
But you're never going to make everybody happy. You're right. You're never going to make everybody happy.
So go neutral.
What neutral?
Neutral's a kangaroo. Don't do something that's specifically Irish that might
Nobody
be feels
wants to see the kangaroos playing the Bears.
Okay. But kangaroos are gnarly. Have you ever seen? I'm going to show a picture at some point of a jacked up kangaroo.
Right. She is right.
We've shown it on the show.
We have.
Yes.
It's pretty. pretty strong. We'll be right
Well, the
back.
Bears aren't that great anyway.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Dozens of planes have taken off from Kabul's airport carrying Americans and other evacuees out of Afghanistan. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney claimed in an August 19th Twitter post, liked more than 17,000 times, that President Joe Biden is charging Americans for their flights. Verified viewer Mike asked, is the U.S. government charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan? So, Mike, let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. State Department, the Overseas Security Advisory Council, and the U.S. Code of Laws. On August 7th, the U.S. Embassy in Kabul urged Americans to immediately leave Afghanistan on commercial flights and offered loans to help cover the cost if needed. A week later, the embassy again urged Americans to take commercial flights and warned for the first time that flights chartered by the State Department may cost $2,000 or more per person. Historically, during a crisis, the State Department charges private citizens and third country nationals the cost of a full-fare economy ticket for charter flights it arranges to the U.S. The agency cites a section of U.S. law requiring passengers to reimburse the government. This happened last year when Americans were evacuated from Wuhan, China during the start of the pandemic. However, in this case, a State Department spokesperson tells Verify it isn't asking anyone for reimbursement for return to the U.S., given the situation. And the Secretary of State said the embassy in Kabul also sent out that message.
We even made clear that we would help pay for their repatriation. And we provided multiple communication channels for Americans to contact us if they're in Afghanistan and want help in leaving.
So, it's false that the U.S. government is charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan. Since her post, Congresswoman Tenney has acknowledged Americans leaving Afghanistan aren't being charged and introduced a bill to ensure the flights remain free. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Here's something you don't see every day at a minor league baseball game. Someone paid $5.
$5 million?
Five.
Oh.
To post this fan shout out on the Jumbotron.
I love this.
Fan shout out, like in quotes, because it actually read, Alyssa, this relationship is over. Tim. And over is in all caps. Whoa, is this too harsh?
I'm just saying, this is like an SNL skit, because first it's at a minor league game at a Jumbotron. The guy's named Tim being like, it's over, Alyssa. All of it's a joke, but it's pretty petty, and I bet Alyssa hurt him.
I wonder if it's your dude, Timmy Nipple.
Tommy Nipples.
Tommy's offended by that comment, just so you know.
If you're leaving us, a little inside baseball, if you will. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A major theft on the set of Mission Impossible 7. Find out how Tom Cruise became a target in the crime. And Dancing with the Stars is set to have a history-making season. The big change you'll see with one of the couples this year.
Could drones play a part in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's connect the dots. Atrium Health has been working with UPS for a long time to perfect this technology. Now they can use a drone to deliver vaccines 25 doses at a time from the main hospital to nearby practices and pharmacies. And this is not your normal delivery drone. It's climate controlled. Remember, the COVID vaccine has to be stored in incredibly cold temperatures, so the drone is packed with special gel to keep them cool. But is drone delivery actually that helpful for delivering vaccines? Researchers say yes in certain situations. Drones can help transport vaccines to places that are hard to reach by delivery truck. In fact, the technology is already widely being used by Pfizer to ship vaccines in Ghana. And here in the U.S., drones could help lighten the load for delivery drivers. Saving a few trips with this technology could go a long way, as companies face staffing shortages and a growing mountain of online deliveries. Still, it could be a while before we see drones take over the vaccine rollout. Right now, Atrium is only operating one drone within a mile radius in Winston-Salem. But the technology is looking promising for fighting disease in the future. And that is connecting the dots.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam, here with my friends Erica, Jeff, and Tori. Let's get started. All right, so YouTube star Jojo Siwa is making history. She, along with Olympian Suni Lee, were the first two contestants named for the new season of Dancing with the Stars. Jojo, who appeared on the reality show Dance Moms, came out as pansexual earlier this year and is currently dating a woman. She will be the first contestant to be paired with a same-sex partner. Jojo spoke about it on GMA this morning. Watch.
When I got asked to do Dancing with the Stars, they actually asked me, do you want to be with a boy or with a girl? And immediately, there was not even a question. I knew to make it right for the people who come after me that Dancing with a Girl was the exact thing that I wanted to do.
I love her. What did you think?
Does everybody have the same question?
What?
Who's going to lead?
Oh, I don't.
You didn't have this question?
No.
No.
You didn't think this?
No.
Well, no,
I've been to a lesbian wedding. Why would I think
the
that?
The professional dancer leads.
That's not true.
Oh, I always thought it was the professional.
Well, usually what he's saying is that the male leads.
Yeah, I know, but in Dancing with the
definitely.
Stars, it's always the professional that leads.
I don't think that's true.
That's your big question?
Who's going to lead in the same-sex dance partnership?
I think this is such a bizarre. We are going to battle this question out. This is such a bizarre question.
That's the first thing I thought about.
No, because you're talking about the role, which you're saying lead. That's a role. It's not gender specific.
Sure it is.
No. Have you ever been to a wedding when two women were getting married? No one's like, oh God, we can't dance until we find some man to sub in for us.
But that's not like just dancing. This is competitive ballroom dancing, and traditionally the man leads and the women follows.
Yes,
right?
in heteronormative society. However, as
no, in normal, yeah.
No, in heteronormative society.
Yeah, I know that's the same thing. But you threw that big word.
I'm just
and I was like,
throwing it out there.
Yes.
But as Steph brought up the fact that when there are less guys or less little boys when they're first training, when they're younger, it's very common for two women or two young girls to switch off on who's leading.
But someone is the lead.
Right, and it's a female. And in this situation, JoJo's also a dancer, so they can probably switch off anyway.
Like my
But
best
the
friend
question
okay.
still remains,
okay,
who will
leads?
lead?
If my best friend Jackie got married to her wife, okay, and they classically ballroom danced at their wedding, and I think Jackie was a lead because they picked it and they rehearsed it and they did it. It didn't have to be a male. It just usually is in the world we see.
Well, again, the question is,
oh my God.
who will lead?
They'll probably
they'll pick. Yeah, they'll pick someone.
That's my question. it's not homophobic.
No,
it's not
I'm
anything
not
like
saying
that.
that.
But people already have their guns
No
out and they're
one's
ready to
saying
type.
that.
Listen, it's a legit, fair question.
Yes.
Who will lead in traditional ballroom dancing? The male
And we're
leads. There is
answering,
no
and we're
male
answering
in
you.
this.
And we're answering you.
Well,
they pick one of the women.
We'll have to watch to find out. I just want to say, as a fan of JoJo's, I am just so excited because JoJo's 18 years old and she has a lot of young fans.
Huge
and there's
amount.
a lot of young fans out there that may be watching Dancing with the Stars with their parents, and they get to see some representation for once. And I know that when JoJo came out, by the way, there was a lot of parents that were ticked off. A lot of parents celebrated her, but a lot of parents thought that this was immoral of her, and I say that in quotes. So I'm really happy that because she is just an absolute gem. I mean, she's not only an entrepreneur, but she's talented.
She's a great role model.
Yeah, she has have you seen her line in Target? If you walk into Target in the kids section, it's all JoJo. T-shirts and hair ties and purses, and so I'm just really happy.
I'm still thinking about if the woman always leads on Dancing with the Stars, and I don't think that's true. I think the male leads.
Oh,
we should look it up.
Yeah,
because you thought the star always leads.
I always thought the professional dancer always leads.
You're right. So I don't think that's true. I think the male always leads.
Okay,
but
we'll
I'd like to be corrected.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
I think Michael Dean is looking into it, or Karen is. Okay, so
and then Tori can mime it out for us.
Oh my gosh.
That was a terrible mime.
What are you talking about? It looked like I was actually in a box.
No, you're supposed to actually press and press and press. Like Tori. That was good, Tori.
Thanks.
I had a bad angle too.
Okay. More drama on the set of Mission Impossible 7. Tom Cruise reportedly had thousands of dollars worth of luggage stolen after thieves made off with his bodyguard's BMW that was parked outside a hotel in England. Tom was filming scenes for the movie at the time. According to the Daily Mail, the car, which is similar to this one, was recovered soon after it was stolen because it was fitted with a tracking device, but everything inside was gone. And this is just the latest mishap, Erica. Let me just kind of give you a little rundown. So we knew that it had been shut down twice because of COVID, right? We also know that we saw Tom on that same set have that rant because of COVID, but that went viral. And then on the last Mission Impossible in 2018 is when he broke his ankle. So are these Mission Impossible films cursed? I mean, it seems like a lot of drama.
It does seem like a lot of drama, but I'm sure it's worth it once it hits the box office, and that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah, if it's easy, everybody does it, right? I think you have to go through more obstacles to get a higher level of success, and that's what Mission Impossible's doing.
It's not Mission Possible, is it? It's Mission Impossible, and that's what he's doing. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying that this does seem like a cursed set. If you're someone who's I'm a theater girl, and there's a lot of, what do you call it?
I'm letting you sit there.
No, what do you call it when you're
Superstitious.
Thinking you wear certain things, you can't say certain things. This to me feels very much like someone did something and this set is cursed.
Really?
Yeah, there's too many over and over again. Nothing is flowing, nothing is going, and in that creativity.
He better not.
He better not, but I think they got to sage the place. Something's cursed that.
You don't think after 7 movies something might happen to go
Dude,
wrong?
it's been like 10 in a row, as she said.
Dude.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm so happy it's Friday.
I'm just going to keep zinging Tori.
Weddings are not cheap, but would you send a no-show guest an invoice? So a man recently posted this invoice for $240 that he was sent by a bride and groom. It stated that the guest confirmed their attendance to their destination wedding in Jamaica, but because they never canceled, they are now being billed the $120 each, which is what the couple paid the resort in advance. Erica, you're shaking your head. Tell me,
Yes,
girl. Okay.
absolutely. We need to normalize guest manners, period.
Ooh.
I don't know where y'all people were raised, but if somebody is throwing a party, throwing an event, and wants to host you as their guest, show a little bit of respect to just be like, hey, listen, I can't be there in time. Don't say you're gonna be there. That's the worst thing. Saying you're gonna be there and not showing up after they actually paid per head, which a lot of parties and weddings are, is super rude. I almost expect for people to be like, hey, I'm sorry, last minute I can come, so I could be like, good, because Knucklehead over here decided to call me 30 seconds before the party and say that he can't show up, which means I have extra food, which I paid for, so why don't you, you bring your friend and your grandmama too.
All right, I'm on the other side.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, so here's my take. You probably would have got paid more in cash if I showed up to that wedding. Me not coming, I'm going to feel worse. I'd probably put a little bit more in there and give you that. You, as a close friend who's going to send me a bill, As Sonny said in the Bronx Tale, for $240, you are now out of my life forever. You send me a bill, I will never contact you ever again. I will pay that bill and say, have a nice life, and you will never be invited to anything ever I have again.
That's true, but the issue is the couple has already told you that they don't want you in their life anymore by sending you a $240 bill, because they're saying you do not respect. This is a time where the village comes together in order to uplift and elevate the couple. You're bringing them down, which means that you are likely gone.
We're going through a pandemic. You can't
but don't
easily
say
travel.
you're going to come.
They didn't RSVP correctly.
It's one thing to be like, and things happen. So it's one thing to be like,
kids,
oh my gosh,
children,
something happened. We didn't have enough money, and my husband lost his job. Whatever it is, but clearly they just no show.
Yeah,
it was a complete no show.
That's a ghosting. I kind of agree with Eric on this one.
Me too.
Although I would
what
be
a
really.
surprise.
Oh, excuse me. I would be offended though if I got a bill.
I don't think they cared. They wanted to offend you. They did it for a reason. I'm with Eric.
That's a statement in itself.
Yeah, they felt completely ghosted and disrespected from two of what they thought was their best friends. So they were like, screw them. And that was their way of being like, you owe us. But I don't really think they were chasing the money. I think they were trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, coming up on DBL. A lie that led to a man's 27-year prison sentence. How he's turning his life around after being wrongfully convicted of murder. That is coming up next in Freedom Files.
Closed captioning provided by... Okay.
I don't think you do.
A lot of people writing in about the Chief Osceola. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Osceola, excuse me. Marcy Ann says, I went to FSU, that's Florida State University. There's a strong relationship between the Seminole tribe, which is in Florida, in favor of FSU using that mascot because they work with FSU on programs to do it the right way and educate. And that's what I mean by asking the community. If they appreciate it, I don't have a problem with them using it. If the people like at the Washington, D.C. Redskins were like, this is a terrible slur, change it. It's not hard to just ask the marginalized group of people, hey, does this bother you? If it doesn't, cool.
But here's my problem. You're right about the Redskins. Here's my problem with that. People who aren't Irish, let's just use Irish as a term to stay safe here. People who aren't Irish are just getting involved. And they're not even asking Irish people. It's people on the internet who aren't Irish, and they're saying, this is offensive.
I see.
You're not even Irish.
Ask
who
the
is it
Irish,
offending?
yeah, right.
You're right. Ask the Irish community.
The Irish
but people on social media are getting involved that shouldn't even be involved, nor should their opinion count or matter. Right. And that's who now everything is under a microscope. And it's like, it's not even offending you. You have nothing. Absolutely. It has nothing to do with you. You should ask the Irish community about that.
And also, if it does help the community and you educate and learn about the Seminoles, maybe that should be the mascot. And I'm not saying that in case someone is saying that is offensive, but perhaps that's good. Now, my mascot was the Grasshopper. What was yours?
It seems very fitting.
It is. I went to a hippie school.
Where?
In D.C.
No, I'm saying what level?
All of it. I went to
high school,
high school, the whole thing.
You were Grasshopper the whole time?
I was a Grasshopper for 14 years.
Hey, do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Okay, Grasshopper walks in a bar, and the bartender says, hey, we got a drink named after you. And the Grasshopper goes, you're kidding. You got a drink named Ted?
That's kind of funny. Because there's a drink called the Grasshopper.
Welcome back to DBL. Imagine going to prison for killing your best friend, but you never pulled the trigger. That happened to Earl Truvia. We spoke with him earlier in today's Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted.
It's Halloween night, 1975. 15-year-old Elliot Porter never makes it home.
He was a close friend of mine, and I know his family.
As police tape off the scene, a crowd gathers. 17-year-old Earl Truvia notices his friend's lifeless body.
And that moved me to go notify his mom. And when I went and knocked on the door, she came to the door and I told her that was her son that they found under the building.
A couple days later, a neighbor calls police with a very detailed story to tell.
She said me and my co-defendant and the victim passed in front of her window while she was on the third floor smoking a cigarette. Get out of her eyesight, and she heard 2 shots.
Earl is arrested and charged with second-degree murder.
Within the 90 days I'm in jail, I write his mom a letter expressing my condolences, and at the end of the letter, I'm telling her I'm an innocent man.
The DA assures Elliot's mom they have the right man, their case resting solely on the neighbor's testimony. Not only does the witness say she saw Earl with the victim, but she tells a tale so horrific, Earl's legal team is left speechless.
She said that we broke in her apartment and projected threats for her not to go to the police. And she stated that I had put a pistol to her 18-year-old baby head.
After just 14 minutes of deliberations, Earl is found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. At just 18 years old, Earl enters Louisiana State Penitentiary, also known as Angola.
Kill or get killed. And I had to go there with that demeanor.
The teen embraces the prison culture to survive.
I got caught up in the drug game in prison. I had the deputies bringing me drugs.
There's just one thing that stops him from being fully consumed by the darkness.
That was my fight to prove my innocence, no matter how dark it was. But I had just that much light to believe in.
After 25 years in prison, the Innocence Project gets involved in Earl's case. They find secrets about the state's star witness that were never disclosed at Earl's original trial.
Then she was a drug addict, paranoid schizophrenic. She had a criminal history. She stayed in trouble with the law.
His lawyers also discover that the line of sight the witness said she had is in fact blocked by a balcony. The state grants him a new trial.
I told my attorneys I would die in Angola before I plead guilty to make the government right over me. 30 days later, they dismissed the charge.
After 27 years in prison, Earl is a free man.
Earl, welcome to DBL. Okay, so you've said the one thing that haunts you the most is the why. You want to know why the witness lied, but you actually ran into her after your release. So tell us what happened when you saw her.
I sit right next to her, and I'd say Sheila Robinson. I just called her name out the blue when she looked at me. And she asked me who I were. I said Earl Truvia. And she dropped with her mouth open, and she jumped up and went in the car, and I went behind her. And she started crying, and I embraced her, and I told her it's all right. She brought me before the congregation of the church and told her pastor, this guy did 27 years for a testimony that I gave he was wrongfully convicted.
Oh my God.
Wow. Wow. Earl, you say that the second lie has hurt you even more since you've become a grandfather. Tell us why that is.
Well, at the time, I have a grandchild that's right at 18 months, and her testimony was so devastating after I really learned the collateral damage of it. And when I see my grandson, he loved me dearly. And even all around the world, when I see babies and kids at that moment, it triggered in my head what really the jury had pounded upon, and it took them only 14 minutes to get a guilty verdict. And that was her last testimony that stuck out in their head. An 18-year-old kid being threatened with an overgrown man as myself then at that time, putting a gun to her baby head, and that was my best friend that got killed. Wow. And so I was charged for killing my best friend.
Get killed, right, while in prison. How did you show strength?
Yes.
And how did you survive while in prison?
it's just like when you're in Rome, you live like the Rome. So I knew at my age, I had to defend myself because of the male institution that, you know, I used to hear stories about prison, and now I'm in a situation wrongfully. So I have a double burden I have to protect, as well as being a black man, and the way the prison is designed, that's what it was, only the strong survive. And to test my strength, I had to live just like a gladiator. And I had a couple of altercations. I had to, you know, defend myself and resorted to additional charges. But at that early stage, I was still having a psychological impact upon me. I'm here, and anything that rubbed me wrong, I mean, I had to defend to the best of my ability. I thank God I had my faith in a prayer life and to keep my strength and my sanity, and that basically contained me having a prayer life and trusting God through it all.
All right. Well, Earl, thank you for sharing your story and for the transparency. Wow. We'll be right back.
With another round of COVID shots underway for some, many of you wanted to know if you can switch things up. So we went to the CDC and Novant Health infectious disease specialist, Dr. David Priest, to find out. Viewer Ron S. asked us if those getting an additional dose had to get the same brand as the first time. First, we'll remind you, the extra doses available are only Pfizer and Moderna right now, and they're only for people who originally got Pfizer and Moderna.
Try to stick with the brand of vaccine you got for the first 2 doses, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
The CDC says if you don't know or don't have the original mRNA brand, you can get either mRNA vaccine. So we can verify you don't have to get the same brand for your 3rd dose, but mixing it up is really a last resort. Now, what about Johnson & Johnson? Viewer Lisa B. asked if someone could switch from Johnson & Johnson to another brand for their additional dose.
I think roughly 900,000 people in the country who got Johnson & Johnson have already got an mRNA booster. So I think that's already happening, but there's no official guidance on that yet.
So clearly some people are skirting around official guidance here. But right now, the CDC says it still needs more info here on how safe and effective it is to mix J&J with an mRNA shot. So we can verify, by the official guidance, you can't get Johnson & Johnson and then a different brand. But that guidance could change when more research comes out.
Welcome back to DBL. Have you heard that just 4 seconds, just 4, of exercise can change your life? We're chatting about it today on today's DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. New research shows that 4 seconds of high-intensity exercise repeated 2 or 3 times or 3 dozen times is all most people need to build muscle and maintain their fitness levels. The trick is making each 4-second burst as grueling as possible. So you want to work your body as hard as you can for those 4 seconds, but not to the point where you can't finish each 4-second workout. People who exercise like this were found to burn fat much faster the next day. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I can do this. Thank goodness. I can do this.
When I read it today, I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, done.
But no, you got to give it all, your all.
Yeah.
That means full intensity. Your knees got to be high. Your elbows got to be swinging. You got to full intensify.
You're scaring me.
And what you did was like 1 second. Do that 4 seconds and then do it 3 dozen times.
Yeah.
I bet you're going to get a
Look
little
at
winded.
Erica's face. Are your eyes watering? What's happening?
I think she used to cough, I think.
She used to cough?
No, I'm fine, y'all.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
planes have taken off from Kabul's airport carrying Americans and other evacuees out of Afghanistan. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney claimed in an August 19th Twitter post, liked more than 17,000 times, that President Joe Biden is charging Americans for their flights. Verify viewer Mike asked, is the U.S. government charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan? So, Mike, let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. State Department, the Overseas Security Advisory Council, and the U.S. Code of Laws. On August 7th, the U.S. Embassy in Kabul urged Americans to immediately leave Afghanistan on commercial flights and offered loans to help cover the cost if needed. A week later, the embassy again urged Americans to take commercial flights and warned for the first time that flights chartered by the State Department may cost $2,000 or more per person. Historically, during a crisis, the State Department charges private citizens and third country nationals the cost of a full-fare economy ticket for charter flights it arranges to the U.S. The agency cites a section of U.S. law requiring passengers to reimburse the government. This happened last year when Americans were evacuated from Wuhan, China during the start of the pandemic. However, in this case, a State Department spokesperson tells Verify it isn't asking anyone for reimbursement for return to the U.S., given the situation. And the Secretary of State said the embassy in Kabul also sent out that message.
We even made clear that we would help pay for their repatriation. And we provided multiple communication channels for Americans to contact us if they're in Afghanistan and want help in leaving.
So, it's false that the U.S. government is charging Americans $2,000 for charter flights from Afghanistan. Since her post, Congresswoman Tenney has acknowledged Americans leaving Afghanistan aren't being charged and introduced a bill to ensure the flights remain free. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we got, Tori?
All right, this is with Jojo Siwa, Dancing with the Stars. Carol C agrees with Jeff. I don't think Jeff means a man needs to lead, maybe, but how will they choose who will lead? I had the same question. Mary Bennett says, Jeff, the two dancers will make that decision. Doesn't matter if they're both female. We actually got info from the booth. Jojo has been on an interview quoted as saying, I'd love it if we switched on and off with the lead.
Again, a fair question. You're absolutely right. It doesn't matter who leads, but it's a fair question. If it's male, who leads? If it's female, who leads? That's the only question. Because I know, listen, read the comments that really what's going on, and I'm sure they're a lot worse than
I think you spoke for a lot of people that were confused, and I think we also had that conversation for a lot of people to be enlightened by it.
I feel enlightened.
Would you?
Why is everyone being weird?
I don't know.
Sorry, I was listening to the producers. Would you ever let a female lead you if you were dancing?
Sure. I don't know how to dance anyway, so that's how they teach me.
You don't know how to dance? I don't believe that.
Do you know how to ballroom dance?
No, but I feel like you do.
He said he does.
Okay, I was lying.
I bet Jeff does. He does you every day. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place.
Tori's so mad that you think that.
No, I don't. I'm fine.
Why do you think that Jeff knows how to dance?